Yeah, motherfucker. All right, that button. I done hit that button.
Yeah, man.
I hit the button. We live, Nickel.
Already. I'm still setting up, man. Let me
Take your time, brother.
get my shit together. Get my shit together, man.
Take your time.
I might have to, matter of fact, I'm gonna come in off the laptop. I'm on the cell phone right now and shit. But I'm gonna come in on the laptop. They was talking greasy on me on the side of this joint. I commented in the joint. And I got a couple of Pan-Africanism conscious community niggas going in. You know what I mean?
What?
What is up?
Huh?
No, I was talking. I commented on the Sarnetta show. Yeah, I know. Yeah. I'm saying with the Say Cool show or whatever from yesterday. And I commented on the joint, man. I had some Pan-Africanism conscious community got crazies going at me in the comments. It's all good.
I don't know why. I actually never got the playbook or the manifesto. The working copy of it. I never got it. So
what it supposed to be though?
Huh?
They make me feel like I misunderstand what they talking about. What they talking about?
I don't know, man. I don't know, bro.
Maybe somebody can explain it. I don't know. Maybe somebody can come up and explain it to us or something, man.
Not anybody gonna do that. They're gonna just keep, I mean, we got like close to, let me see how much time we got on this. On some technical stuff. Let me see. We got about at least let's see, we go all the way back to Henry Slaughter Williams. Let's see. 1869. Let me see. Trinidad, 1911. Hold on. In 1900, Williams organized the first Pan-African Conference. That's in the 1900s, yo. All right.
1900s, okay.
Yeah, so in the 1900s, Williams organized the first Pan-African Conference held at Westminster Town Hall in London. So let me see. In 1903, he went to practice as a barrister in Southern Africa, becoming the first Black man to be called to the bar in Cape Colony. All right. So yeah, I think that's probably the first person that actually got something organized on that banner right there. So that's where we at. We at 2000. Let's see. Let's add it up real quick. Let's see something real fast here, man. 2023 started around 1. Yeah, so we got 123 years on deck. Yeah, we got about 123 years. So I think if we're gonna start our own, if they're gonna colonize something and go ahead and they need to probably go ahead and do it. Need to get that going. I'm actually waiting for that. Y'all see the title of the show, man. Tired of the nonsense, man. Got people jumping off the roof. Crazy. That's why that rhetoric is very, very dangerous. Yeah, it's very, very dangerous. You can't even keep it cool. Very, very dangerous, man. Very, 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 very not productive. And me howling, screaming along with them, that's probably not productive neither. I ain't gonna be able to do it. All right. Yeah, but Black African Power, man. I see y'all there. What's going on, Mika? Omar Reed, what's up with you? I see you, American Dream. I see Jody Breeze. know that game on. How many of y'all fans of the Cincinnati Bengals? Get out the chat right now. Hmm? Let's give it a couple more minutes, man, to get this started right, man. Y'all know what it is, man. I like to read some of the comments from the show we did last night, man. Got a couple positives, got a couple unpositives, right? You got people unsubscribing. Let's see. Let's see. Winner G. All right. Let's see. Yeah. So y'all, I get it. If let me see. One sec. Let me see what I hate is at. Let me see. There's some people coming, man. See where we at, man. I like that. Yeah, so if y'all ain't ready to actually hear an informed opinion, yeah, if y'all not actually ready to hear an informed opinion, man, y'all want me just tiptoe around and shit and then act like some shit is happening that ain't happening in the last 123 years, yo, then you right. Y'all probably should just unsubscribe. Yo, I'm not even mad at you. I can understand it. You know, people have been doing that to me for years. You know, when I decided to bring scientific literacy to the platform, man, I got a lot of that, man. When I made that departure from actually, just doing my own thing and not following the mandate that they had. As far as, the white man is the devil and science is evil. And, we don't want to be practicing believing to a Christian God or a Muslim God, right? But we just want to still have a God and imply the same thing. So we really move from one religion to another and put the same power, you know what I'm saying, in the same place. So you ain't actually made no change in your life. So if you're trying to, use God to solve your problems, whether it's an African God, a Greek God, a Muslim God, Christian God, then it's still the same thing for me, right? And so, yeah, I've been through this, man. So if we can't have a productive, healthy conversation around organizations that's been around for a while, and if we can't put the spotlight on them, right? Specifically when people come around their mouth, if we can't put the spotlight on them and have a healthy conversation around it, man, without cussing each other out and all that, man, then you probably gotta get away from me, man. So I definitely don't have a problem with people checking the temperature of the room. When I say checking the temperature, I don't have a problem with you questioning stuff, right? But don't keep talking me to death after you trapped in a corner of nowhere, because you have become a walking contradiction. Just don't do it. So, everybody's a gorilla, right? Until the real gorillas come. Everybody has their own country and want their own country until the real country pop up, right? Everybody wants to be anti-scientific, anti-government until it's time to run your own government, until it's time for you to fix something in the community like a pathogen, like disease, like sickness, like fix a broken arm. You know what I'm saying? Now you just want to spit on it and throw some mud on it. Come on, man. Nobody really wants to be real. So the conversation runs across problems when you're speaking at a level, I'm just going to say at a level that most people aren't willing or aren't comfortable talking. So there's certain levels that people just aren't comfortable, right? They're not comfortable with having to change where they was and move forward. They're not comfortable with studying like for instance, a great queen like Nzinga from the Congo. And then when you get into her life for real, and when you get into what she had to her perseverance, where she go through for real, and it get messy and it get ugly. We don't want to talk about that conversation. We want to make up stuff in our own mind and apply our Negro knowledge to it. Crazy to me, man. It's crazy. So yeah, we're gonna let a few more people come in the chat, man. It's gonna be what's gonna be, man. And if I gotta lose my whole quote unquote African following, Pan-Af, whatever y'all think it is, man, then that's what it'll be, man. I'll start from there, yo. I'll definitely start from there, yo. Because what I do know is we definitely can take a clear look. We can put the spotlight on everything we talk about. We can put a spotlight on the works of Dr. Ben, the works of Cheikh Anta Diop's. We can put a spotlight on Gerald Massey's work. We can put a spotlight on Neil deGrasse Tyson work. We can put a spotlight on Fauci, right? We can put a spotlight on everybody. It's not hard. All you got to do is be a fair researcher. You only got to be a great researcher. You can be a fair researcher and know what sources are solid, what sources aren't. And you can actually figure out if a person's stuff is trash or not. You can actually figure out, was the civil rights effective? But that kind of stands on its own. Like, so that's, the pudding, how they said that the proof is in the pudding with that. But there are things that got left behind that wasn't able to stand the test of time. And we know they wasn't able to stand the test of time because they didn't show up when we needed them the most. They just didn't. So, let a few more people get comfortable and come on in the room, man. Oh man, not the chief. Not the chief. But yeah, man, come on, let's get them likes up, man. Let's get it going, man.
Yeah, man, I feel you on that. I'm trying to hurry up and take these crabs.
Take your time, bro. We let people come in, man. They shuffling their feet real slow.
I got a few minutes to go ahead and down. I told him he was going. I heard the sound. You heard that jump?
Oh yeah, Vance. Yeah, I knew he was gonna be out. Yeah, he wasn't gonna stay long.
You know what I'm saying? I was like, yeah, you gonna hear that sound. But yeah, I'm feeling you on that, man. I'm just in here trying to hurry up and eat these crab legs, man, so we can get it in tonight.
I got it. I'm gonna hold it down to y'all already, y'all. I got this, yo. It's all good, bro.
Yeah, we Gucci.
Yeah,
Tiffany, man, come on the panel, Tiffany, man. The Discord was on fire today. Hopefully, Tuck My Yacht and Sister CK and Marcus, man. Hopefully, y'all can come on today, man.
Nah, niggas ain't coming.
Because I feel like we had a real good. It's a real good conversation to be had, man. You know what I mean? So let's get it.
Depending on where you see it at.
Yeah, depending on, yeah. I mean, and everybody got their own perspective. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but I'm thinking at this point in our development as African people in North America, quote unquote, African Americans, quote unquote, Black Americans, man. We should be able to see what's actually working, how much of it is working, what part of it needs to be refined. We should be able to, come on, man. We have not reached that.
Man, I've been to lectures, man. I've heard the lectures. At one time, I was infatuated with the whole shit. And, what I learned or what I heard, looking at it in hindsight, it was just backwards, man.
Yeah, and then you got type guards. I'm gonna say it again, type guards. That's all they can do is type. They can't put their words together. Crazy.
Oh, you talking about in the chat?
Just period, anywhere. This type of nigga that's scared to death.
Okay.
Type gun, call him type gun.
Already.
Yeah, so we heard a lot of opinions today.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
You talking about from where?
And Discord. I put the link in the Discord if anybody want to go on the Discord.
Definitely heard a lot of opinions.
A lot of conversations now, and we're gonna discuss them then. And we clipping them up. We clipped them up.
Look, had some opinions and some sources provided that when looking at these sources, man, I saw that these same schools had, you know, they can't tell you that, yo, we only accept black students, you know what I'm saying, or that, yo, we don't want none of y'all white churn coming here. They have to kind of ease it in like certain type of ways, like, yo, this is for our people. You know what I'm saying? Like in the description of the curriculums and shit like that. You know what I mean? Or they had to say things like, yo, we pride ourselves in loving African children. Yo, if you got a school that's for everybody, you ain't gonna just put, yo, we love African. That's like a school, that's like a white-owned school saying, oh, yo, this school is for everybody, you know, but we love our white children. You know what I'm saying? Like, what black person would send their kids to that school, yo? You know what I mean? Like, we pride ourselves on European education. Who gonna send their kids to that school, man? So they don't gotta say they racist. They don't gotta say they, you know, white only. They just gotta put it in the description a little bit to get the parents a heads up, like, yo, yeah, we do this like this though. You know what I mean?
Let me read CK. Let me read what she's saying.
All right.
I'm reading all comments from everywhere. Your comment ain't safe. CK says, this is what I'm talking about. Folks scoff at black people having their own schools. That's not what you said. As public schools are banning learning about actual history in public schools. That involves black people. But nah, we don't need African-centered schools.
Hey, man.
Didn't hear you say that, bro. There's something going on with our brain. There's actually something going on with our brain. So let me say this. What you said was that if you want to have an African-centered school or a black-centered school, then what you got to do is you got to just teach. What you can't do is say this person can't go, that person can't go. HBCUs, you have different types of students that come from different places around the world.
Definitely.
Not all black people go to HBCUs.
Right.
So the HBCU is serious about what they're doing, and they say, we don't want number of black people in here, yo, then that's really not a school, because it really can't happen that way.
Right.
You simply said the obvious, bro. But when you said it, people will say like CK. CK will say, you're saying we shouldn't have our own schools. Man, that's ridiculous, bro. What we're saying is we absolutely should have our own schools.
Facts.
But to live in a place that just got off of stopping people from saying that you can't go to their school. So how the hell is you going to fight to be able to go to all schools and then start the shit back up and say, well, you can't go? You're right back in the same trick bag, and it's madness. That's why you know they don't be serious, bro. So if you're serious about having an education centered around ideologies or centered around things that you feel that your particular community need to learn, then just have the damn school.
Mm-hmm.
That's real. But when you keep saying we ain't gonna do this, that means you really don't want to have the school.
And a lot of them speak from, you know, and I don't know what they've been exposed to or not. I've been around these cats that say they got their own schools, and you know, like I put the sources in the Discord as far as who has their own school and what they be talking about. And I hear their rhetoric. I've watched their lectures and heard what they talk about, and it's always a racist sounding message. You know what I'm saying? So, man, unless they can give me something different, like show me somebody that's talking. Just show me somebody that's talking different, man. You know what I mean? Bro. When I hear this Pan-Africanism talk, what I've experienced was racism, not against me, but when I hear their rhetoric, it's like what they call it. What's the book? the one that's the spook that sat by the door.
Yeah, they ain't learned that.
I'm a fly on. I was a fly on the wall. I'm in the the lectures, and I wasn't in there to listen for no white man or nothing. I'm in there like because I'm part of the whole movement. I'm part of the motion. But when I look back on it, I'm like, damn, the shit I was hearing was bogus. Them niggas was like, they was backwards. You know what I mean? So it's, you know what I mean? That's where I'm coming from with it. You know what I mean?
Listen,
if
man.
y'all sat in there and heard something different, let me know. Where y'all and all that. But go ahead.
Listen, man, I will make this point again, man. I will hear people say what ain't in schools, what ain't in schools. Let me show y'all something. I showed this last night. I'm just gonna keep reinforcing for y'all that might have missed it, man. For y'all that might have just missed it, man. Let me show y'all something. Let me show you what you find in Baltimore city schools back in the early 60s and 70s, right? 1967. All right. Hold on. Let me bring it up. Let me see if I can bring it up. Let me see if I can get to it. 1 second. People only hear what they want to hear. And I realize that. The heat get real hot in the kitchen there, bro.
Yeah.
It's gonna be what it's gonna be. At this point, it don't even matter, yo. Yeah, you either want it or you don't. If you hear somebody saying, right, and I think everybody can speak for themselves. Hold on, damn it. This is whack. This is real whack here.
And then like I told y'all, man, it's black people thinking that, we've been taught that in this conscious community that black people can't be racist, right? And that's far from the truth. Like, yeah, we can be racist. We can be discriminative. We can be unfair when it comes to other races and shit like that. Like, don't think you can't be racist, yo.
Yeah, whatever. All right, let me share my screen, yo. You know what, Kent? Whatever, man. I don't care about how we think we want to be, what we cannot be. Man, you'll find out what it is you're saying when you look around you. That's real. Let me share the screen here. So you'll have a lot of people talk about what's not. Damn it. Shit. Man, where's the cover to this book? Okay, here. This is the book I want to show. All right. Hold on. 1 second. Before I show that, let me see how many people we got in the chat, man. See if we can keep it hyped up. Where we at?
Got 56,000.
56. Yeah, moving slow. We at least start when it gets 6. Let me show the source. Let me show you. Hold on.
I need Juju to hit that link. Come on, Juju. Miss Tiffany, we need you in this thing, man.
Nah, man, we don't gotta bring no women up on the panel. Yo, they gonna get attacked, dog.
Nah, we ain't gonna. Nah, ain't.
Nah, what you mean us? Come on, dog. You ain't thinking. I think it through. Bring them up on the panel if you want. They couldn't come on the panel and do something, talk about their plight as women without getting attacked from people on here. So at this point, I'm not. Listen. I'm not doing that. I'm good.
I feel you. I'm just saying. We ain't gonna let nobody come on here and attack them. But I think that the women can come on and have.
Yeah. Did you mention Baba Hameen? I see Juju say you haven't watched any Baba Hameen videos. You watched the music video. What did I hear this conversation just now? Did I miss something?
Baba Hameen was in that video, Juju. The music video said some things. You know what I mean? Like, what are we talking about at this point? Like, that's the facts. Are you saying he had to change a heart? Like,
I ain't even talking about me, yo.
He cool. Like, he cool.
I actually seen that man grow.
I ain't got no negative. I ain't got nothing negative. No negative.
No, I'm just saying I actually seen him go from halfway crook with it and separate himself and actually put together a pretty good program. I don't hear him say, yeah, I'm saying who can't, because you can't do that and have something that's real.
Right.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, if it's real, then that means you following guidelines set forth.
Right.
right? If you selling dope, that ain't real, meaning that can't stand the test of time.
No, I ain't even talking about all that. Yeah, that's.
I'm just making a point. So if you got like Saturday schools and stuff, you know the community can actually produce Saturday schools that are very effective, right? Like I said, in the Jewish community, they have Saturday schools. In Korean communities, they have Saturday schools where you basically teach a thing. Everybody don't want to send their children to a Korean Saturday school. Look, you don't gotta say it. Some things you don't gotta say.
Man, look, Tiffany.
Hold on, you get that point though, right?
Yeah.
You don't actually have to tell other people, right, who don't share your identity, right, not to come. Right. You don't have to do it. 99.99% of the time, they're not sending your kids to that school.
Nah.
Right. That ain't the
once they hear
certain school situation, nobody's doing it. So that's some crazy.
Once they hear African, once they hear we focus our attention on African children and we love our African, like ain't no white people sending their kids to that. You don't gotta say it's black only. They see it from that. But Tiffany said something about not Tiffany, she said he was in the music, but Tiffany, he had the best verse in the song. He could rap his ass off, yo. Baba Amin, I'm talking about.
Yeah, man.
I give him that. He had to salute the Bob. He rap his, but the whole song was just.
Hey, yo, I see it now, yo. People getting real foolish over this, yo. I mean, foolish. You know what I'm saying? I mean, like, foolish. But hey, look, you know what I say, bro. How do you say 2 peas in a bucket? Yeah, trust me. Like, can't scare me off my position. You know what I'm saying? But my position makes the goddamn world. Like, you ain't gonna run through this world and think you're gonna build a nation without scientific literacy. Like, and the fact that people think they can do that, yo, lets me know they either trying to start a cult, right? Or they've been in a damn cult, or they was in an organization that has failed miserably, and now you just hanging on and trying to convince the next generation that it's gonna work.
Exactly.
I done heard him call Martin Luther King all kind of names, yo. He was soft, he wasn't this, he wasn't that. You know how much hard it takes to stand up there, yo, and not fight back, yo, when you know you got the power to?
Mm-hmm.
You know how much fight it take, yo, to say, yo, we're gonna attack them right where they do their thing, which is in the law. They do their thing in the law, yo. You know how much intelligence that take to be able to deal with that and then win at it? Crazy, bro. Why you got other people on the sideline saying we want separation? Well, where's the separation at, yo? It's been 70 years. How long has it been since the civil rights movement been passed, yo? How long, bro? Think about it. In the 60s.
Right.
Where is the separate state that the people that claim Pan-Africanists, where that shit at? See, now this is where the rubber meets the road. Since everybody wants to stick their chests out and talk reckless and talk crazy, where's that? Like all of a sudden we didn't got opposed to good education. That's crazy to me, bro. Oh, you don't want us to have our own schools. Man, I don't care what you have, as long as it teaches information that can take the children in that school, right, to higher learning, then why would I care? But like I know, yo, like a lot of times people talk that school thing and it don't really be a school, it be foolery, yo.
Yo, we talking about
it be complete foolery. It don't be nothing remotely close to being able to get the Black Americans ready for the next level, bro.
Exactly.
Okay? Go again. How you gonna have a school going against science? Going against the study of world history? Because John Henry Clark said, yo, world history, bro. I didn't hear John Henry Clark say just specifically African history. He said study world history. As a matter of fact, as a caveat, he said study European history first. And see, they hate me when I did that. See, that's when they really, really started to hate me. When I repeated what a master thinker said and actually followed suit and start throwing names at them, right? That did certain things that we could figure out and follow that pattern, they got mad. Why would you tell a person to study the history? He say study the history because from studying European history, yo, there's a lot for you to learn from that. Study that first. The great Chancellor William, he said the same thing. Guess what Chancellor William say go at first when you studying African history, Kent? Take a guess. Huh?
Oh, wow.
Vance, Vance back from the dead. Vance, what's happening, man? What you got to say?
Man, my bad, I didn't even mean to do that, dog. I thought I was on mute. I'm sitting here eating, smacking and shit. Y'all didn't even tell me. My bad.
I didn't hear all that. We just heard
Yeah,
you
well, Vance, you supposed to come in, goddamn, cursing niggas out.
Nah, we ain't cursing nobody out.
Say niggas, my bad. But nah, I feel you on that, man. Like I say, man.
No, where did Chancellor William say go, yo, to study your history, yo? He said go to Europe, yo. That's what he said. That's what Chancellor William said, yo. Why, yo? Because a lot of your history isn't in the museums. Right? We ain't paying attention. I hear this a lot of times, yo, have your own, have your own, have your own, have your own. We want our own.
Mm-hmm.
You hear that, right? But I've been hearing it for the last 15 years.
I heard people say we wanted our own social media, you know what I'm saying? And we had our own social media app. It was Yahoo. What was it? I can't even remember the name of it. Anyway, when we had that joint though, people wasn't flocking to that shit. People were still on Facebook. The same Black Power, RBG, Pan-African, all of that. That shit, man, the little social media app that was for Black only, that shit failed, yo. It was like 2 or 3 of them. It failed. So I don't even, when people be talking that, oh, we need our own this and our own that, I don't be hearing them no more because it's bullshit, yo. They ain't about that shit, man. Come on, man.
They don't listen, man. It's not about having your own all the time, right? It's about whatever you're doing,
go ahead,
making it successful, yo.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So if you got a record company and you're trying to do it all by yourself and you're not producing nothing for 10, 15 years, and then you partner with, say, Sony or something like that, and it take off, now you can do what you want to do for the people around you. Right? So it's about whatever you're doing, making it work. See, if you truly care about the people, bro, then you take your feelings out of it. Right? If you really for the helping of Black people, then after you done watch something for 100 years or something, and it ain't produced nothing that's going to be positively moving the needle, right? Then you should be willing to fix that. You don't got to hold on to things that ain't working. You don't got to keep doing things the same way, expecting different results. They call that insanity where I'm from. You don't have to do it. You can always watch this. So if it's about Pan-Africanism, right? Then it's surely about transforming Pan-Africanism for the space age. If you truly care about Pan-Africanism and Black nationalism, all those things, then you should be ready to transform it to the space age. Because if it's not palatable for the space age, then it ain't ready. It ain't gonna work. It's not happening. If it's not palatable for the young brothers and sisters, yo, then what you really got? Got a whole bunch of old heads, whole bunch of old crazy people mad because something ain't work.
Trying to set the youth up for failure, yo. Like, how you going to set the youth up and push them out into the front line when times done changed, bro? Like, ain't no more no more white only restrooms, no more white only what we call them, water fountains and shit. Like, we in a new time, yo. Like, we trying to bring things together. Like, even the white people understand, like, yo, we fucked up. Like, we held these Black people back. Like, everybody trying to bring this shit together.
Some of them do, some of them don't.
But the ones that don't, they gonna get it. They got to get
something good. Do you watch The Godfather of Harlem?
Yeah, I love that show.
Did you watch the last show?
I didn't.
Listen, Malcolm goes to Mecca. right?
This was
He
the
gets-
new. Hold up, this was the new Malcolm, right? Because they changed the Malcolms up.
yeah, come on, man. He goes to Mecca,
Okay.
right? He gets to Mecca and they locks him up.
Mm.
All right. He's sitting in the cell, right? They ain't give him no water, they ain't give him nothing. My man sitting in front of him, yo, give him something, give him a piece of bread. The man don't look nothing like him, look white.
Mm-hmm.
Give him something to eat, right?
Okay.
Right. Another man comes and gets him out of jail, right? Talks to Malcolm and takes him to his home. And they having these conversations. And Malcolm got the same stance. White man, the devil, the man say, yo, it's time to pray. The thing go off, it's time to pray. Malcolm say, in my country, we don't pray with white people. So, the Muslim don't say nothing, so the women just pray, right? So then they have another conversation, and the man looked at Malcolm and say, he say, Malcolm, you sound racist.
Somebody got to tell this nigga. Somebody got to tell him this shit racist.
He said, listen, he said, Allah. Now, it's wild, though. I ain't saying I'm agreeing. He said, Allah don't see no color, which is crazy because Allah was made by human beings. So but listen, he said, Allah don't see no color. He just see the Muslim. He said, when you make this Hajj, you're going to be looking at Muslims that's all colors, and you can't say you're not going to pray with them.
Facts.
See what I'm saying? He said they're going to be in all colors, and they're going to look at you as your brother. Now, I mean, we study Islam enough to know that half the time that was a bunch of crap, right? But what he was trying to say is he was like, man, he said, are they not any good white people in your country? Malcolm said, nah. Malcolm hit him with the same package, right?
Yeah.
Hit him with the same package. Like, nah. Y'all gotta watch that episode. That was wild.
Hey, you remember I had that? And look, you remember I had that package at one time, and you had to kind of get my mind right. I was like, yo, man, them white people. And you was like, nah, I can't, man. Got da. But that's why I damn say that's how I feel now. You know what I'm saying? Not just because of you, because I had to realize, like, yo, there are some good white people out here in America, man. They gave me opportunities and shit. Like, I can't, just false claim all white people is a certain type of way. You know what I mean? So that whole black only shit, this and black only that, we actually moving backwards in society with that type of thinking, because we actually
never move backwards. Listen, man. Listen, yo. There's a thing called take advantage of the things you can actually take advantage of, yo. And so I think we about ready. How many likes we got, man? Before we can start playing the clips.
No, my bad. We got about 64 million in the building. Here go Marcus. All right, here we go.
No, he just died. Yeah, he ain't gonna be able to.
Ran out of there.
Ran already. Come on,
Marcus.
Hey,
man, hit them likes, man. Come on, man, hit them likes, man. I know you wish you could hit the dislike, hit the like, whatever you're gonna hit. Just hit that button, man.
Yeah, Marcus, come on back, brother.
He coming.
But no,
he might ain't mean to hit it. Oh shit, I'm up on the thing.
Come on back, brother.
Hey, so listen. So I'm on the panel, right? Last night, and people paying African James and all them, yo. I say, yo, did y'all get the vaccine? And to a man, they all said no. So at that point, I knew I had made the right decision to get away from those who reject high-level medical science and then claim to want to have a quote-unquote nation. That's got to be crazy, man. Let me see. All right. What are we gonna play here? You know what? I don't even want to play the young brother getting beat up by his brothers. That's crazy, right? So here's this book right here, right? All right, talked about this yesterday. All right, the American Negro, old world background and new world experience, right? So he's going to talk about the old world in this book, and he's going to talk about the new world experience, right? Rayford W. Logan and what's this? Ivan S. Cohen, okay? Cohen, I believe Cohen is a Jewish name. All right, I know Raymond Ford is a black man, and I'm thinking Ivan Cohen may be Jewish, okay? So this book is the first book that my dad gave me, right? Okay, now watch this. I want to show you. All right, y'all see the book. Now I want to show you. Hold on.
Then we got Brennan in the building.
Yeah, you start that me play that theme music.
Peace. What's going on, brothers?
How you
Hey,
doing, brother?
what's
going
happening,
on?
man?
Oh
Nice,
man,
nice to have you along for the ride, man.
man,
Everybody
man, everything is at a fever pitch right now, right?
let's get it.
I'm telling you, man. I'm actually sitting back, watching the news right now. I think they're supposed to be releasing, I guess, some of the video footage from the police cams and everything that was going on.
Some more.
With the brother. Yeah, some additional footage. I think this is like the full footage that people are like sort of waiting on in that reaction, in that potential reaction there. And you know, it's concerning. Everybody is sort of waiting, trying to figure out what the fallout to this is going to be.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it's, you know, it's that feeling, you know, that feeling that we had with the George Floyd piece that was going on, right? We're in dangerous times. So yeah.
Yeah, I mean, how many angles you need of a nigga getting beat the hell out of him?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? To know that he just got beat down to death. You know what I mean? It's like, we know what happened by this point, you know what I'm saying? Just go ahead and charge them people, man, and get them death penalty, man, and get it over with, man.
All right, let me share that screen. Hey, Brendan, you ain't in your joint, is you?
Say what now?
You ain't in your tank, is you?
Oh yeah, I'm locked and loaded.
Oh, you need to go ahead and play the theme music. But watch this though. We got the Edgar Allan Poe school number 1 now, ladies and gentlemen. Right? That's in Baltimore, Maryland. Y'all see that, right? Absolutely, we see that. Right? So that's in the Baltimore City schools. School number 1. Y'all can look this up. What's the year on that? Let's make it bigger. Let me show you. This book was written. Look if this book was written. Copyright in 1967. So in 1967, this information was available, right, in the school system. If not in 1967, this was definitely a book in the school system that, quote unquote, Black people could have read. Where did I get the book from? My dad gave it to me when I was little. You can't expect people that's not you to go the extra mile. A person is never going to do more for you than you do for yourself. I think that's got to be the rule. We got to understand that. Like, we just have to understand that. We just have to. So this was actually in the Baltimore school system. Simple as that. There's no cut cards, man. And they was talking about science in the book. Let's see. Hold on. Let me see if I can go here. Let me go to the, if we look at the table of contents in the work, right? I think this is important because I'm tired of people saying, yo, we ain't get this, we ain't get that. Man, you lying, right? You just playing with yourself. You should just probably say your parents didn't introduce you to that stuff because it was definitely there for us to do. How? Because I got it. Remember, I was born in 1967. Okay, so here is since y'all think we just be making up stuff, you know I'm gonna always have a source on deck. Here you go right here. This is the table of contents for this book. You got African ancestors of American Negroes build civilizations in Africa. The Negro helped to develop the early African civilizations. What's the early African civilizations? Whether y'all agree with this or not, man, talking about Egypt. So people in Baltimore, Maryland, kids would have been able to read this book in school number 1 and see that. What are we talking about? You think I'm bluffing? Let me come to a page in that book, since you think I'm just making that up. Since you think the conversation we having is the first time that Black Americans have ever heard this conversation. Maybe people ain't paying attention. You ever thought about that? Maybe we ain't taking our education serious enough. Besides the outside forces to put pressure on you. Besides all that, at a certain point, yo, there's going to be a time in your life, yo. And maybe I'm just wrong, or maybe I just don't. Maybe I believe in all of us to be able to have the ability, yo, to have the ability to push forward. And maybe everybody just can't, yo. And maybe I need to accept that. But I'm thinking everybody has the power, yo. Maybe I'm just wrong. Let me share the screen right here. Here you go. Share the screen. You see it, Kent? Can anybody see it? Brendan, can y'all see that? Is that too small?
Yeah, I mean, we can see it. It's a little small, but
A little small. All right, hold on. Man, I just knocked it off. Here. All right. I'm gonna make it bigger. I ain't gonna let it be small. Let's take a look and see what this says in the Baltimore City school system. Why they ain't got in the school? Can you see it? Everybody see it now?
yeah, it's better now.
What did it say down there? It's better, not good enough. How about now?
No, that's good. Yeah, that's real good right there. Oh,
What did that say? Go ahead. Read the first line. What did it say? Right here. Highlight it.
With the Egyptian Negroes helped build a cradle of civilization.
Uh-huh.
About 6,000 years ago, along the banks of the Nile in northeastern Africa, modern man began to build one of his earliest civilizations. Attracted by rich natural resources, people of varying racial backgrounds settled along the Nile. Negroes helped to build that civilization, which today is known as Egypt. Villages founded by Negroes became important towns and cities within the Egyptian empire. Negroes farmed the land, helping to produce the surplus food that made city life. Scroll down a little bit.
Oh, man. Hold on.
You went down a whole nother.
There you go.
That made city life. You got to go down a little bit more. Just a little tap, just a little tip.
I can't even make it. I can't get to the tip. It ain't going no far. I got this thing on here. I can't get out this dang on.
Can you read that?
No, I can't even see it myself because this thing is in there. But what I can do, I can just do this.
I was going to say just zoom out a little bit, and then it probably would have.
It ain't about that. I had to get that off there. I got it off there. Now let me see. Oh, you say zoom back out?
Yeah, but what was the point of what you was trying to get out of that?
I mean, this is in 1967, yo. I keep telling y'all, why do y'all think I say what I say? I say, yeah, white people hid it from you in the secret vault called the library. That's a joke, ladies and gentlemen. They did. So whenever you hear a person say the secret history, they hid our history. It's not true. It's just not true. It's in plain sight. You know, sometimes that's the hardest thing to see is things in plain sight. Like it's in the secret thing called a book, bro. This book was not on the moon. My father did not have to go to the moon to get this book. This is the first book that man gave me, man. You just got to understand what I'm saying right now. I don't be making stuff up. When I give you my opinion, I give you my opinion. When I tell you that whenever you hear people trying to tell you that the secret history, yo, they trying to get you. They lying. Hey, Brendan, man, go ahead and kick that off, man. You got that in the queue yet?
What you mean? What you looking for? Oh, you're looking for the actual, okay, the commercial.
Yeah, we ain't started the show yet. We ain't playing no clips.
I thought we were in the thick of things at this point. Right?
No, we trying to wait. We just trying to wait. We're trying to get some people in the building. You know, they're a little mad because they feel like I'm banging on Africa. I'm going against Sekou great dream to have another nation, and we want to have our own thing. Man, y'all not keeping the score, man.
I'll tell you what. I'll tell you what, we had conversations about power. What's the quickest path to that? And I could only give you, my personal experience in terms of that is in terms of power, the most powerful tool that we have, or one of the most effective tools that we have is education in that regard.
Right.
Right. And I actually put in our Discord, everybody joined that Discord. And we say, okay, well, in terms of like the challenge, right? If you've got extra energy, right, towards this, everything that's happening today from a political perspective and what we're seeing in these events, man, channel that energy and go get your next level of education. That's what I would challenge you to do, right? Because that's one of the most effective tools, right, to that path to power that we talk about, right? Because it's not, our issues aren't as complicated as we make them. right? When we talk about, in terms of education, that's one of the quickest paths to really bettering ourselves, right? Financially, socially, economically. A lot of that is wrapped into our educational levels. Right. So, that's the challenge that I always say. And you know what? I'm thinking about taking up that challenge myself. In terms of, some of the things that we see going on, and especially we were talking about changing the image. We talk about changing the image of Black men as well. Right. I think that's something that we shouldn't shy away from as well. Right. Again, a couple months ago, we had a conversation about, okay, well, should we be posting positive images of ourselves being great? I think that is very necessary, right? I don't think it's necessarily, considering that beating yourself on the chest, but those images serve a greater purpose over time.
You know what, Brennan?
Mhm.
Man, to add to that, and it might be side topic than what y'all talking about.
Mhm.
Watching. Somebody talking?
No, I was getting the clip ready.
Oh,
Ziz,
I was watching some clips of the Cosby Show, like yesterday and today, like just clips, and the image, like how you say, the image of the Black family and the Black man and this and the third, it really gave me like a good feeling inside. You know what I'm saying? As far like you right about that, man. Like the images do actually affect people. You know what I'm saying? So we
Absolutely.
Even just that family vibe to how Cosby, of course, he went down for what he went down for, and that's just a whole nother. But the image of that whole show really benefited the Black community, I feel. You know what I'm saying? Just, but that's just something I thought about when you was just saying that.
Right. And we have to project those images daily. It's not enough to need that positive image, at a time in crisis. Right. Again, it's like, okay, you have to build that up. Just like, for instance, if you can't build an emergency fund in your bank account when you need it, it has to be there. Right. I can't be in a financial crisis, then try to build up an emergency fund in my bank account. You have to start that before the emergency, So this is what I'm talking about in terms of building that positive self-image up over time. We have to do that, and we have to do that every day, day in and day out.
Yeah.
Right. Project those positive images of ourselves.
Yeah, it actually affects way of thinking over time.
Exactly.
Seeing positive images
to counteract some of these things you're having. I think one of the sisters in there, we were talking about the whole idea of this trauma porn, right? That's projected that shows us in these images being brutalized or traumatized, right? Yeah. It's like you have to have images, positive images, to counteract that.
Yeah, it actually, like I said, it actually does something when you watch it. It actually does something to you, whether you're watching something negative or whether you're watching something positive, like the what was it, the old gangster movies that we used to watch. It used to influence people to want to sell drugs and want to be that type of mob boss type figure. But when you watch the family shows, it also, whether you know it or not, it affects you that way too.
Right. It has that psychological impact. And again, and this is why we've been cautioning against a lot of these, the demagogues, the ideology, all this stuff. Over the last couple of weeks, we've been saying, it's like, be careful with the images that you consume, right? Mm-hmm. Because it's at these points when it happens, right? You have to be careful. Because we're already a people that are traumatized. We have that fractured consciousness that we all talk about, right? And then in these moments, you become vulnerable. You become vulnerable to the people that will prey upon that and push a message that may not necessarily be in your best interest, right? Don't become radicalized, by something by someone or some group that is taking advantage of that. And I think that's what we've been saying over the last couple of weeks. And it actually came to fruition.
Oh, man. Hey, Marcus, you want to say something? Because you had a lot of typing on your fingers there. What's up with you? Talk to us. Welcome to the show, brother.
What up, Mark?
What's going on, brothers? How y'all doing?
Hey, we doing great, yo. Trying to make it.
Yeah, can you give me a second? I'm looking up something right quick. I wanted to start off with a quote from a book, and so I'm trying to find it now. I want to make sure I give you the. I don't just want to quote the book. I want to pull up the original source. I can tell you where my issue lies in this conversation, though. Pan-Africanism has a variety of views. And what I see happening is that only one side of the view is being discussed and the other side is completely ignored. And I find that problematic. And so Sekou and others represent one side of Pan-Africanism. And it's popular in this community, so it seems as if that's the standard for all forms of Pan-Africanism, and it is not. So when you talk about individuals who were Pan-Africanists, we have other individuals whom I hardly hear anybody make such claims about. So was Du Bois pseudo and foolish? Was Booker T. Washington? Was Boothane, who started the college in Florida? Were they pseudo? I just don't see that. And so, yeah, you got some people out there that push the envelope. I stand with you. People who are not equipped nor trained, stepping into fields they may not want to do, and it's dangerous. All that you said, I agree with, but I'm still not going to exclude the other people. So I think W.E. Du Bois did a wonderful job for Black people.
Say Booker T. Washington?
Absolutely. Absolutely. That's the quote I'm going to pull up for y'all. And so I think that they did an excellent job for Black people. One of the things, Marcus Garvey, he represents the side that Sekou tends to follow through, and I understand where that comes from. But Herbert Harrison separated himself from Garvey because he didn't agree with what he was saying or teaching. So Herbert Harrison was also one. So I wouldn't exclude him either. So
Hubert Harrison, that's my favorite
yeah.
of all time.
I'm sorry, Hubert Harrison. So he was also one. So you got a lot of Pan-Africanists who not only work with just the Pan-African, but also work with the civil rights movement, who pushed these envelopes across the board. They wasn't just talking about let's all go back to Africa or nothing like that. That's just one side of a coin that is based in the ideology of Pan-Africanism. And we should discuss both sides. If we want to critique it, then let's talk about the other side as well. So let me get this quote for you.
All right. So yeah, but you can only have a conversation about the thing you're having a conversation about, yo. So at no point was that man talking about Booker T. Washington and none of that. He never was talking about that. He was talking about communism, the whole 9 yards, Marxism, all that. That's what he was talking about out of his mouth. And that's the conversation, bro. So if you want to move the conversation to Booker T. Washington, what he did, man, we can read about Booker T. and what he did. That's two different things. So that's come on, man. That ain't right.
That's
talking about Sekou and
right.
Sekou's message. Sekou's message ain't included. Sekou's message is clear. They want their own state, their own land, all that. It's clear, bro.
And listen, I agree with what you're saying. So but what happens is you create a broad umbrella for all Pan-Africanism. So now that Sekou is talking foolishness based on what you believe and other people believe, I believe is nonsense himself. You then branch all Pan-Africanism with him. And that's and so like I said, when you say something like, what has Pan-African ever done for us? See, now you branch it all groups together.
Well, that's why you're here, Marcus. And that's what you get for not being here.
I was in the Discord. What you mean? That's the whole,
but you're in the Discord. You typing it down. Nobody got time to read that all. Come on, stop.
Hey, Marcus, do you feel like Pan-Africanism is something that we need right now in 2023? Like right now? Like these days?
Yeah, give us your brain. We listening. Go ahead.
I think that
Go ahead.
excuse me.
Like these days.
Yes. So
yeah, man, peace, brother Marcus. Peace.
oh, peace, Brandon. How you doing?
Hey, well.
So what I will say is that there are aspects of Pan-Africanism that we absolutely should promote. I posed a question, and I said Martin Delaney, some consider to be a Pan-African as well, who pushed heavily.
You didn't consider. Wait, how do you? I mean, when we read their bio, shit say they was Pan-African.
Well, so it's debatable because some people think he was just a black nationalist.
Okay. So what we're gonna do for Booker? We're gonna find his bio and actually pull it out because I know he was part of the Nigerian joint.
Yeah, and the African
Nigerian movement, I believe. Is that what you was referring to?
Yeah. So Dr. Mayat had part of her read book club. We went over a book called written by Professor Tyre Wright. And it's called Booker T. Washington and Africa, the Making of a Pan-Africanist. And what she goes over is, I don't know if y'all know this, but Booker T. Washington, a lot of his letters and personal correspondence are recorded and rewritten. Not all of them, but a lot of them. There's a lot left to be done. And in those correspondence, you get to hear the side of him that was not public. Now you're gonna jump out there. Don't do it.
I'm not jumping. I'm saying I thought it was a Nigerian movement. My fault. I'm just. And
it's not just a Nigerian. There was a movement that he did over there in Africa for a period of time. That wasn't successful. He learned his mistakes. And then he moved on to other things. So one of the biggest things he did was he blocked the African exclusion measure, right? So that's one of the things. He started the Negro Business League. So a lot of the first banks and a lot of those things came out of his work through Tuskegee and so forth and so on. The thing imitated and mocked her school based off of how Tuskegee was made. And out of that movement comes a lot more. So, Du Bois tried to work at Tuskegee for a while. They got into a controversy. People talk about that. But nevertheless, Booker T. Washington developed a very strong Pan-African idea, so much so that when the first Pan-African Congress went on in the 1900s, he was one of the main ones who pushed through Black media at that time, newspapers and stuff, to get as many Black people involved in that Pan-African Congress, even though he couldn't belong. During that period, Marcus Garvey hears about what he's doing. He comes, that's how Marcus Garvey came to America to see Booker T. Washington. Of course, he passed before he got here, went to New York, started that whole thing, and then, we know what goes from there. But I want to read.
It's going to pull out this Pan-African thing, because I know I can look at certain people and they go straight to it. So with Booker, they just not doing. So we just supposing that's what he was focused on.
No. We have the actual letters, and
so there's a letter to the public.
No, so you have his correspondence to people in Africa. You have his correspondence to the Liberia Congress that came over here to meet the president. You actually have a lot of his personal letters. So from what I can understand, Booker T. Washington had a public face and he had a private motive. And the private motive was firmly held in Pan-Africanism, so much so that people from Africa came over here, learned at his school, and he told them to go back to Africa and build a similar school, imitate it, so that you won't fall into the traps that CQ was talking about. One of the things he warned them about was, I'm okay, let me go ahead and pull up the quotes now.
No, hold on, you do, I'm saying, I ain't tripping, right?
Yeah.
And I just, for the record, you said he's a public figure and he's promoting ideas. And I talked about one of the ideas he was definitely promoting. It was his organization. It's called, it's the NM. That's the Nigerian movement, right?
Yes.
And let's see. All right. So we clear on that, right?
Sure.
And the Nigerian movement was organized to oppose racial segregation, right, and disenfranchisement. Okay. Its members felt unmanly the policy of accommodation and consolation without voting rights promoted by Booker T. Washington. So I'm just wondering, in his bio, it should have said he was that. So you do know that you don't have to consider yourself a Pan-Africanist to care about African people globally or period.
Right.
You could, I mean, his program was so strong, Booker T program so strong that it absolutely could work in Africa. And so what we call Dr. Martin Luther King a Pan-Africanist, because people from around the world accepted his program, right? In South Africa. You know what I'm saying? That program spurred, the civil rights movement spurred African people, bro. So that just because it spurred African people, we're being very distinct when we talk about Pan-African. Booker T. Washington, right? He would never oppose high-level medical science. It's things he just would not do. So I'm just saying though, Marcus, yo, I hear what you're saying. I'm gonna let you read it. You go ahead and read that, bro. But come on, man, you can't tell me that privately he was a Pan-Africanist. Well, hell, all right, then you win. I'm just saying that, and I ain't even trying to be smart because I like Booker T. Seriously, but that ain't fair. Come on, man. You got to help us out on this one, yo. How was I supposed to know it if it was private?
Hey, Marcus, you still ain't asked that question though. Like you said it would benefit us in 2023.
Yeah, absolutely, I think it would. I
Okay.
mean, the tenets are when I named the Pan-Africans I named, they were definitely pro education, like he just said. They wasn't against that, you know. Martin Delaney, same difference. Fought hard for public education and public funds, not just for Black for all. You know, so they were big on education. They were big on proper representation. Not all of them were talking about a separate state. That wasn't what they were talking about.
So you know what though, Marcus? The brand of Pan-Africanism that the youth is hearing today ain't nothing with what you talking about, yo. The brand that kind of rose to the top now is anti-scientific, anti-college school. That's the reality of it. That's what we're sitting at right now.
That's why I'm.
Hey Marcus, we need you to start beating your chest about Pan-Africanism, really put the thing. Come on, yo, don't do us like that, yo.
Because Marcus, to be real, is like it sounds like it's two different types of Pan-Africanisms.
Yeah, that ain't fair.
Going on right now, because what I hear, and what y'all talking about is two different things.
Yeah, I get your point though. I'm not nullifying your point, bro. I'm just saying what the people in the hoods is getting. They getting Umar Johnson Pan-Africanism. He's on the Breakfast Club. He's on the biggest Black platform, bro. That's what they're getting. They ain't getting what you saying. And we can only judge it by what the little babies is getting, dog. That's all I was saying. But go ahead. You're going to read something. Go ahead.
So this was written by it's in a newspaper article. It's the beginning of chapter 2. It's from Booker T. Washington, The Story of the Nigger, The Rise of the Race from Slavery, which he gives you in that book, you can hear how he looks at himself in Africa and so forth and so on. And it says, there is, however, a tie which few white men can understand, which binds the American Negro to the African Negro, which unites the Black man of Brazil and the Black man of Liberia, which is constantly drawn into a closer relationship, all the scattered African peoples, where they are in the old world or the new. I have rarely met an American, anyone of my race, who did not, in one way or another, show a deep interest in everything connected with Africa. The millions of Negroes in America are almost as much interested, for example, in the future of Liberia and Abyssinia as they are in their own country. There is always a particular and sacred, scarcely definable bond that binds one Black man to another Black man, whether in Africa, Jamaica, Haiti, or the United States. And that's The Story of the Negro, The Rise of the Race from Slavery by Booker T. Washington, 1909. So that's his ideology, and that's pretty much my stance. And there's a lot of other Pan-Africans who hold to that stance. Now, in a community that tends to talk about it, it's a lot of foolishness, right? It's a lot of foolishness. It doesn't make any sense at all. The fact that they were on there talking about they didn't take the vaccine is utter foolishness to me. I'm not denying that's ludicrous. It doesn't make sense, right? But what I am saying is there is a core thread that has constantly been involved in Black people in America, and that's the message that I like to hear.
Okay, so Marcus, I'm going through the pandemic. We had them on. I actually did a show with people. They sitting in the Marcus Garvey UNIA office, yo, arguing with us about vaccines, yo, with the whole thing behind them. So now you saying I ain't spoke. So if I'm arguing with a Jehovah's Witness, right, and the minute Jehovah's Witness temple arguing with them, and then I leave there, and then you say, man, that's not. We don't share them views. Wait a minute. I'm in the Jehovah. They got all the literature. They got everything. How am I supposed to make that distinction? Let me play this clip, bro. Let's do this. Let's settle it. Let's do this. We come on, man. Find me something. Go find somebody to do exactly what you're saying. I think that'll be real beneficial. I think that'll be real helpful. We got to be able to name some people that's doing what you're saying. And I mean, and it's actually in an organization that's putting together, because this is all I'm hearing, this type of rhetoric right here. Right? I mean, come on. Umar Johnson is the one on the joint. He on the joint. All right, here you go. It's your man. The one is your man. Here you go. Let me share the screen. Let me get the superstar on here. All right, here we go. So the superstar. Let's go. Let's hear what he's saying.
So when you want to create identity for a people, language becomes very important. And language is a vehicle of culture. It also helps to develop scientific discovery. So you have to put language in place. These many languages in Africa, it has become a disadvantage. It has become a disadvantage in a sense that our intellectuals have not seen the need to drop the European language and create one powerful African language that will allow us to redefine terms and terminology in our own mother tongue, because people learn aside.
So he's sitting there telling people we got to create a whole new language. He is sitting there saying that part of the Pan-African thing is for them to create a whole language, and all the different languages is a different advantage. What are we talking about here? How long is that going to take? And everybody has rallied behind this foolery. This is what I'm talking about, Marcus. Not talking about we not going to pass each other like this, man. That's not making no sense for me, Marcus. You trying to tell me that this man who is hyped up on Pan-Africanness, that's his mantra. That's what it is. He's telling us, right? This is what everybody is following him on YouTube. Not what you talking about. They're not getting the letters, right? That Mark, that W. Du Bois and them was writing. They're not getting Booker T. Washington, my fault, is writing. They ain't talking. That's not that. That's not coming across YouTube. This is what's coming across YouTube. And this is what I'm dealing with. I'm talking to him. And I said it. I'm talking to him. And what he did was he wanted to get help from everybody else. It's what he went and did. So now we sit right here. Now the line been drawn down the middle of the goddamn road. Come on, man. You got to help me out, Marcus. You can't leave me out there like that, bro. This is what I'm going through. Should I play it again, or we all heard that clearly? Did we all hear that clearly? Marcus, did you hear that?
I heard it, sir.
Yeah, we're going to create a whole new language. I got another clip. Let's play the clips. This is where we at. We like for where the rubber meets the road. It's another clip. Here we go. Let's see.
Hey, brother, this is the last one, man. He went out and came back in. Go ahead, brother. Go ahead, stay in peace. And then we out.
Shalom, peace and Black Heart family.
Peace, brother.
You know, as people, we have to stop being afraid to pursue true sovereign nationalism. Because if I walk off my job tomorrow, all the rest of these brothers are going to look at me, man. We have to stop being afraid, and we have to establish our own military, our own judicial system. Man, we need our own country. And that's the monkey in the room, man. We got to stop being afraid, and we need our own damn country. Period. We're We ain't gonna walk off our drives for them. Man, all the black people up here would just be looking at me broke and homeless, and they wouldn't even support me. Man, we need our own military. We need our own. It don't matter if a brother believes he is real, Kemet, a frog, a scientist. As black people, we can't even agree on 5 fundamental things to have a.
Hey, brother, this is the last one, man. He went out and came back in.
Our family.
Peace, brother.
You know, our family.
Peace, brother.
You know, as black people, we have to stop being afraid to pursue true science.
So you are afraid if you're not seeking true solving, whatever the hell that is. Sekou says, when you living in Africa, in African governments controlling resources, they don't really have sovereignty. All the literature I read says that they are sovereign government. We are afraid because we're not walking off our jobs. This is the Pan-Africanist, man, we talked about, bro. We ain't talking about nothing else. We have enough sense to help each other. Trust me, we do. Trust me, we do. But we got to rally behind this, though. Like, what we got to, this is where, watch this. I'm going to let it play.
Do it nationalism.
Watch this.
Because if I walk off my job tomorrow, man. And that's the monkey in the room.
So my question is, so having our own judicial system, having our own government, is going to stop people from acting like them 5 cops act like? No, obviously not. There has never been a time in the history of humanity where people didn't kill people, where people looking like the same people didn't kill. Matter of fact, people that look like you kill you more often than people that don't look like you. You can study on it. So having all that, does that actually solve the problem? Having 5 black police, did it stop them from brutally beating another black man? Obviously not. And I want to hear, and I've heard all the excuses. Well, you know, they wasn't Pan-African police. Well, you know, well, they went to college. So I'm pretty sure they heard all this, maybe. But even if they didn't, the point stands clear. Are you telling me that if we had our own thing, all of a sudden everything that we doing now would stop? Like Africa is perfect. Like the movements we put together has been perfect. Let me finish the clip. Let me get you the end. Because this is what it's about. Sekou then got people roused up on complete food.
My brother believe he is real, Kemet, a scientist, and black people, we can't even find things to have.
Hey, brother, this is the last one, man. He went out and came back in. Yeah, brother. Yeah, stay your peace, and then we out.
Show on. He said,
clarity. The young brother right here.
So watch this.
Take us home.
Let me say this, man. I know Kush ready to jump out his seat on that one.
And let me say this too, Sarnetta. We need to let go of America. We need to stop acting like a man who's been cheating on a woman 50 times and still want to be with her. We need to let go of America too.
Hey,
all
man,
right, brother. All right,
I like hey, we need to let go of that Bible too. But see, I don't want to be a Hebrew Israelite. If he gets
check this out. Nobody at NASA knows you.
Now watch this. Now watch the hate. See, y'all say be hating. See, what y'all really hate is when I come back and respond to the complete foolery. That's what y'all really hate. Oh, why you do it? Why you do it? Come on, man. They just hurting. Listen what he say. He think he talking to somebody that actually run around and lie and act like they got the degree. Just watch the hate. Just the hater. See how conversations will make you hate your brother and your sister. It's just a conversation. And it's a possibility that maybe he's wrong, maybe I'm wrong, maybe parts say Cool Gay right, maybe I got, but but it should always be a discussion. Last time I checked, that's what intellectuals do. They run from no topics and they discuss them. But watch the venom. Now, all of a sudden, this guy got the super say cool battery in his back. All of a sudden, now he's the tough guy. He's gonna quit his job. Man, his babies ain't gonna let him quit his job. Watch this.
You are not a real scientist, nigga.
So now I'm not a real scientist. I didn't even know I was even acting like a scientist. I thought I promoted scientific ideas and scientific literacy. I never act like the rest of them dudes. So I'm acting like a scientist and he acting like he original Black Hebrew. So we both acting then. Somebody wrong here. Somebody lying. I'm not acting like a scientist. I'm simply doing this. Here's an astrophysicist, read the book. This is what he said. Neil deGrasse Tyson, astrophysics for people in a hurry. Boom. Watch the venom. See, this is what it is. This is where we at. Watch this, look.
Man, let him
Listen, I know you upset right now, bro. I was cracking.
Dr. Fauci don't know you, nigga.
Now I'm blank, man. Dr. Fauci don't know me. Maybe I said I knew Dr. Fauci or something. Then you got niggas in the chat. I told you it's either the intelligent chat or the peanut gallery. Incredible. Why? All this? Because he want to start a brand new world somewhere. I don't know where he's going to find the land to do it. I don't know what corner he going to find, right? He's anti-science. I fought this dude on evolution for shows. But he's going to start his own. Watch. There you go. Talking shit.
Chill, Bishop. Let him close out.
Hold on, brother. Hold on, bro. Hey, Mr. Bishop, before this point, we was cool.
See? We got people talking, adding to it, cracking jokes. Oh, hey, baby. It's funny, right? See how funny it is? See, we think that's funny when somebody coming with a plan that's totally unattainable, but that's funny. And when somebody simply says, look, there's literature, basic literature you can read in the CDC about how we should deal with this pandemic. It's backed by independent scientists. It's backed by governmental scientists. It's backed by CDC scientists. In his package, and we should just read that. But then I'm practicing the white man science. Then I'm a detriment to my community. But what he's saying is high level conversation, where everybody, you got my man over here on the left, Kush, he got a damn towel on his head.
Oh, so now I gotta say fuck you. See how you?
Man, fuck you too, nigga.
Oh, that was classic. Let me go back. The whole time I'm smiling. See,
sovereign nationalism so that I'm not too long-winded, okay? We need our own shit, period.
All right. I know we all hurting, man. We feel it, man. So, brother, take us home, close us out, brother.
Let me say this, man. I know Kush ready to jump out his seat on that one.
So you done started me up.
And let me say this too, Sarnetta. We need to let go of America. We need to stop acting like a man who's been cheating on a woman 50 times and still want to be with her. We need to let go of America too.
Hey,
all
man,
right, brother. All right,
hey, we need to let go of that Bible too. But see, I don't want to be a Hebrew Israelite. If he gets
check this out. Nobody at NASA knows you. You are not a real scientist, nigga. Stop it. You are not known by JPL.
You got somebody at NASA didn't know me.
Yeah, the brother hurting, man. The brother hurting. He see what happened, man. Let him go. Let him live, bro. Close us out.
I know you upset right now, bro. I was cracking.
Dr. Fauci don't know you, nigga. You blank man, nigga. You not a real
chill, brother.
Nigga, stop talking shit about the Bible, nigga. Nigga, ain't no lies don't know you.
Chill, Bishop. Let him close out.
Hold on, brother. Hold on, bro. Hey, Mr. Bishop, before this point, we was cordial. Now I gotta say fuck you. See how you?
Man, fuck you too, nigga.
Oh man, come on.
This is terrible. Y'all need to stop that. Hey, stop.
Yo, come on, brother. on, brother.
I'm good. Don't jump in it right now.
No, brother, because I don't want to mess this up, brother.
I'm not going to mess it up. You messing up, I continue the conversation. I'm simply saying is all that we need another country, all this we need to be separatists. All I'm asking for is an example to show us where that is actually working, right? We have a country. We just got to take advantage of it. The sister came on with clarity. The young brother right here, everybody was pretty much clear on what it is we need to do. A whole new country, that's another 500 years down the line. You probably need to colonize the goddamn moon somewhere, bro. Where you can get that's what you need to do.
All right,
so
yo,
I'm screaming and
relax,
that crazy as wild.
Like Shaky said. Oh, man.
Listen,
yeah.
so get it now. In the building. Now I get it. But man, I love y'all to death. Listen, anytime you want to get it in, young man, I'm built for this. So watch this. The brother wants his old country, right? But he does not agree with high-level science or high-level medical science. So you will build a country that will be wiped out and decimated by diseases in a couple of months because you don't know what you're talking about. By the way, I like to shout out to the parents of the brother that lost his life. We didn't need to see that. We didn't actually want to see that.
Anyway, this is what we dealing with here. Out of control.
But again, you talked about it previously. You said that we become walking contradictions, right? Like for instance, Sekou on this slide, he talks about the whole idea of race science and how it was wrong for the Europeans to apply and practice race science. But again, in one of his first presentations when he came on to the community, he promoted that he said that we should actually apply race science by adopting the two cradle theory from Diop to analyze why Europeans, quote unquote, were more, I guess you would say, violent than other populations, right? That in and of itself is a race science. So how can you in one hand say, okay, well, I'm going to deny it or reject it when race science is pointed at me, but I want to point race science at other populations. Again, we become walking contradictions in that regard, right?
Man, walking contradictions, Brendan. And so why is it just so hard for us to get, man? Let me put the link in there and see if y'all won't come on, man. Man, I wanted to play those clips because those clips kind of just highlight where we at, right? Like, and I know if you're a Hebrew brother, you definitely not trying to have no government when the atheist got something to really say. And I know that. You want a government, right, backed by Yahweh Elohim. I ain't got none of the Hebrews letting up on that. So what they saying is they want their own state dealing with Yahweh Elohim, and y'all can have what y'all want to have. Like, it's a walking contradiction. The whole thing is crazy. Everybody want a state doing something different. And I'm supposed to sit back and allow the next generation to hear that. It's not clear. Marcus, where you at, Marcus?
And you know what? I think the brother Marcus, he has a sort of a fresh insight regarding Pan-Africanism, right? He has that sort of moderate approach, but again, right, it's the loudest and the most extreme voices are the ones that we always hear regarding certain movements. So I think a lot of the more moderate, ones amongst that movement should step forward and put those ideas together, right?
I'm here.
You're almost here.
Yeah. So I want to. I think it was Kent who asked me about, what exactly do I see Pan-Africanism today is, and I think that what has occurred is, Marcus Garvey had a very powerful movement in the fact that so many people joined his movement, became Garveyites. My grandfather was a Garveyite. Case in point, why I'm named Marcus. So because it spread so wide, so far, it kind of overshadows some of the more powerful, or better yet, the more sensible approach. Marcus Garvey was a brilliant orator, but he was wild in some of his viewpoints. and so, no, I'm just telling you how it is, right? So each generation just keeps pushing the message further and further away from the basis. But he was here to see Booker T. Washington, and Booker T. Washington's approach was so much better. And the reason why I like to talk about Booker T. Washington and Miss Bouthane and others, I can name a few other ones, is because it is not commonly known in our community. And so because it's not commonly known in our community, we make the assumption that that is all our community is when you hear about Pan-Africanism. And so Brandon is correct in the sense that this message isn't really out there as well as it should be, as good as it should be. And of course, like Dr. Mayat and her Read Book Club, they go over the book, they go over other books dealing with the similar situation that doesn't really come out. But one thing I would say is that I'm not sure if the full-fledged African-centered education centers are the best, as in a full school. But I can tell you that there are some areas in which we need to make serious improvements if we want to see our children do better. So we need more Black teachers.
Oh man, but Marcus, remember back in the day, you used to get that the false dichotomy between in terms of what type of education was best for the quote unquote Black community. Was it the collegiate education or was it the technical education? Right. And they would juxtapose W.E.B. and Booker T. Mm-hmm. Right. And the whole idea, a guy asked me that question, and it was a white guy, older white guy, asked me that question. He was like, "Hey, what do you type of education you think would be best for the Blacks?" Right? He was like, "Should you guys get technical tech school educations or college educations?" And you know what I told him? Basically, I've got both. I've got background in technical education and collegiate, right? But the best education is the one you can get your hands on.
Hey, can you hear me out?
I can hear you. I'm right here. What's going on, Mr. Moore?
So, I wanted to start off by apologizing because I definitely shouldn't have reacted that way. What really made me upset, Unc, is what I said initially went completely over your head, even if you disagree with us establishing our own country. But I heard what you said about it taking about 500 years. I said it doesn't matter if we're identifying as Israelites or Kemet or scientists, right? I sincerely believe we need our own national sovereignty, right? We need our own sovereignty. That's all I was saying, Unc. And then for you to tell the people that I'm not for science, when me and you personally talk about my dad being a microbiologist, about me being into science, and it also even says in our Bible that the Jews knew science in the book of Daniel, brother. So then you misspoke for me, brother. I never said we didn't need science. Obviously, when building a nation, there are things that come into play like morality. You would need science to build houses and do certain aspects of construction, to find water, to find resources. So I never said we didn't need science. And I never said everybody had to be an Israelite. That part went completely over your head. You took an opportunity to throw a shot at the Israelites when you said we need to get rid of that Bible.
Hey, Reginald, I can ask you a question real quick?
Whoa, hold on. No, you can't just come in and ask no question. We're in the middle of a conversation. Come on, bro.
So I'm not, my dad studied microbiology at UCLA. We had a build on evolution. What's
the build? Hold on. What's the build on evolution? You don't agree with evolution though? Am I missing something here?
I'm not saying I disagree with evolution, but we came and had a conversation. See, that's the thing, and that's the problem with Black people. Hold on one second.
I don't know what the problem with Black people is. I'm asking right now, do you agree with biological human evolution? Something that we've seen right in front of our eyes for 2 years straight. That's what I'm asking you.
Do I agree with biological human evolution?
Human evolution.
I can't say I know enough about it to say I agree, in all sincerity. There are some things that I might disagree with.
Okay.
But I'm being sincere, you asked me a question, I answered it sincerely.
You're not actually being sincere.
But what I'm saying is this,
I'm saying that's not sincerity of a person.
Before you go on with your question, hold on a minute, What I'm
yeah,
saying
but
is,
you wasn't holding on. You was jumpy. I was trying to apologize.
What I'm saying is it doesn't matter what black people are in. All I was saying is we need to agree on 5 things concerning the morality. We need our own nation. That's all I was saying.
Okay, so where you want this nation at, Mr. Ronald?
Okay.
Where at, Mr. Ronald?
Reginald is how you pronounce it, Reginald is how you pronounce it.
I misread. Reginald. Where at, Mr. Reginald? Right now.
Saying, hold on, goddamn, hold on.
Yeah, but you was real hot earlier, yo, and I was trying.
Yeah, I was, man, because we do need because here's the problem, Here's the problem. Everything that we were talking about that we need to do, we've already done as black people. We've already been a part of the military. We've already tried to accept America as our own country. So everything we was talking about doing, from being a part of politics to being in the military, we've already tried those things, These are things that we've already tried. All I was saying is, as a people, at some point in time, we're gonna have to take a chance to establish our own sovereignty. That's all I was saying. I wasn't saying I'm against brothers who believe in the Quran. I wasn't saying I'm against brothers who believe in science, because I practice some aspects of science. I don't think we should crossbreed a lion and a tiger, but I rock with the periodic table of elements. I'm not against science. But see, because I don't believe exactly what you believe, that's the problem. So what I'm saying is we just need to find 5 fundamental things that we agree on.
Hold on for 1 second. The foundation of modern biology, last time I checked, was the work that Charles Darwin did. So if you're not agreeing with the foundation of biology, which is the foundation of hospitals and any high-level medical science dealing with the living organism called the human, then you've already checked out and built any type of formidable nation anywhere. So you playing this little game, this little flip-floppy, I don't agree with me. It has nothing to do with agree with me. I heard your little joke about the Wikipedia and all that little slick shit you were saying. I heard it very clearly.
Y'all throw shots at you gotta have tougher skin than that.
I said the Bible. Bro, I said the Bible.
Shots at us all day.
I said the Bible.
But I wasn't talking about, hold on, that's just my point. Hold on, King. That was just my point.
I said the Bible.
I wasn't talking about the Bible. I was talking about what we need to do as a people.
But I can
but
say,
you did have to throw a shot at the Israelites.
Okay, so are you an Israelite? Are you an Israelite?
Man, I'm a 10 toes down Hebrew Israelite. You already know.
Right, so that's your problem.
But see, you took a shot. You took a shot at us. You're not a recognized scientist. No, that's your problem. Because if we started a country today, you're not qualified to teach science. You're not qualified to teach science. You're not recognized.
So I'm gonna do this.
Tell me when I'm lying, You're not recognized by Princeton. You're not recognized by UCLA. You're not recognized by UC.
Nigga, shut the fuck up.
You still talking?
Behind the screaming, you talking crazy right now. Last time I checked, the Hebrew Israelites read the fucking Torah, nigga. You tripping right now, right? All that, I'm not a recognized scientist, nigga. I never said that. And you're not a recognized goddamn Hebrew Israelite nowhere but in North America, my nigga, Mr. Slick. How about that, nigga? You can't even get to Israel right now, Mr. Hebrew Israelite. You want to talk about who recognized? At least I ain't running around fronting. You running around fronting, bro. Last time I checked, you fronting, Mr. Moore. You fronting. You can't get into Israel right now. Don't nobody recognize you, but y'all crazy ass niggas in North America. You really 4 toes down.
Hey, he can't even get in Israel?
No, hell no, they can't get in Israel. Hell no. They'll run his ass out with the Power Ranger outfit. Get out of here.
Hell, y'all niggas can't get in Israel.
Come on.
That's the bullshit you on, bro. So I'm saying is, I'm gonna unmute your line, right? Since me using the word Bible, you gotta unmute yourself. Since me using the word Bible offends you so much, guess what, yo? Fuck your Bible. Now what?
When you're traveling, you are what your passport says you are.
I said it. Now, trying to get that. He ain't got it on his passport. I'm an Israelite. Hell no, he got his real name on his passport. Where do you think he's going at with that in a Power Ranger outfit? Talking crazy and reckless.
He ain't wearing aluminum foil around his goddamn. He ain't wearing that aluminum foil around his wrist and them damn.
He ain't got all that. My father's science. Man, I don't want to hear that. You don't agree with science. You can't pick and choose. You even mess with science when you don't. That's some nonsense, man. You come up here trying to front, bro. Wrong place to front, and you talking yourself to death because you muted out and you don't even know it. You can unmute yourself, Mr. Intelligent Guy.
He's still talking,
I'm trying
man.
to figure out why he want to. Hey, Unc, I'm trying to figure out why he want to fight you over the white man book.
No shit. He ain't even wrote the Bible.
We had a whole conversation today about brothers trying to come together to solve a problem, and he ready to beef with you over a book that we all know white folks created. If that ain't the dumbest shit I ever heard in my life.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yo, he's still talking.
Some reeling.
It's delusion. A lot of these dudes is delusional and they trapped in that cult mindset.
But he gonna keep talking muted till his mouth starts.
I mean, you know what it is you know, like Brendan, remember we were talking about.
Hey, yo, he ain't got enough sense to hit his mute button.
Don't even know that. Yeah.
By now, the Lord should have told him to unmute himself.
Look, hey, Brendan, remember we talked about this though. We attacking his identity.
Yo,
absolutely.
Attacking
his identity when you attack.
Mr. Moore, you can unmute yourself. I can't.
That's why. Let him
check it out.
Let him keep on.
Check it out.
What's
This
up?
is not his identity. This is the identity that he created. The other people created for him that he navigated to. This is not your identity. Let's keep it 100.
When I say is his identity, it's what he identifies with. So when you attack the Bible or whatever his belief is, you're attacking him, his identity. That's why he's going so hard.
Right. That's the cognitive dissonance that we talk about, right? It's the impact of cognitive dissonance. When you attack something that goes against that identity, it is painful. It is a painful thing.
Brother, y'all are missing what I was actually trying to say. It didn't have nothing to do with me believing I was an Israelite. I was saying whether we believe we Israel or Kemet.
You said you were 10 toes down Hebrew Israelite. I ain't had nothing to do with that.
Let me finish talking, King.
No, but I'm saying you said you were 10 toes down. How ain't got nothing to do with it?
Before Unc took his shot at us, I was saying it doesn't matter what Black people believe in. I was saying we need to agree on 5 fundamental things, and we need to establish our own sovereign nationalism.
Hey, where do you hear that from? Who do you hear that line from? That 5 fundamental shit.
So I didn't even mention that. It wasn't about me believing.
No, I'm asking you where you heard it from.
Black people, we need to agree on 5 fundamental things. That's all I was saying. He decided to take a shot at me by saying we need to put that Bible away when I said we need to put America away.
I'm curious. What are the 5 fundamentals?
I want to
hear that.
Evolution. You a YouTube.
What are the 5 fundamental things?
Hey, hold on. Yeah, what's the 5
YouTube
fundamental? He don't have them because he's trying to beat for Unc.
That shit don't really bother us. Calling us YouTube scholars and all that type of shit.
But I'm not mad. What I'm saying is this, bro. What I said went over all of y'all heads. I was saying
we would like to hear these 5 fundamentals that you're referring to.
Because, and once again, see, this is y'all being upset.
How is it going over our head when you haven't even mentioned one of these fundamentals?
Believe in Israel, let them believe it. So what? But we should still be able to agree on other things.
Go ahead, give us the 5. Go ahead.
Let's put religion to the side. Yeah, share the 5.
Now, nigga.
Share the 5, nigga. You rambling on and on and on.
Yeah, share the 5. Go ahead, Mr. Moore. What's the 5?
So what I was saying is what I said went over your head, because it had nothing to do with the Bible.
Bro.
You don't even know your own 5. You probably forgot the shit that I don't even know.
Let's say you don't have the 5.
You don't remember it.
You're a scientist, man.
Not being fair.
You don't remember the shit, man.
Hold on, y'all not being fair right now. Let them get it together, man.
Yeah.
Gather your thoughts.
Not recognizing anybody on this panel. Are you niggas serious? You're not the face of science. You're not the face of evolution.
All right, so we want to hear the 5 fundamentals.
What's his name?
We don't want to hear it now. He don't have them. Let's have an adult grown man conversation. Right now he on some kiddie shit. Let's have an adult grown man conversation. What are the 5 fundamental things that we all need to do together as one to overcome these problems that we keep dealing with over and over and over again for the last 400 fucking years? That's the conversation we should be having. Fuck that other shit he having, because he can't even give us 5.
Personally, I don't think it has to be 5 or any particular number. I just think that we got a whole bunch of shit we got to do.
Conversation that I initially.
It don't got to be 5. Like we got a number. It can be more than 5.
Hold on, everybody, chill for a minute. Hey, Mr. Moore. What are the 5 things that keep going over everybody's head?
I think the first thing we need to learn how to do is get along with each other and respect each other's positions, number one.
Really?
I'm not even listening to you with that. I'm gonna ask that one out.
That was number one. Hold up. You gotta get a number two.
Yeah, I don't believe you.
Hold on, let him get a number two.
No, hold on. Did you hear his number one though?
Yeah,
Did you hear this
The
nigga
number
number
one, we
one?
gotta listen to you. So we gotta let you the leader. All right. What's the other one?
Get along.
Number two. What's number two?
Can we all get along?
You gotta get along, yeah.
Number two is get
That's
along.
the first thing we need to do is we need to learn to get along. We need to still maintain a consanguineous bond, even if we believe different things concerning science or religion or heritage. We all know we're the same people. We just argue about it. Cool. But one of the first things we need to develop as a people is a consanguineous bond. And we don't have that.
Okay. So one and two are the.
What's two, yo?
What's the second? The second thing. The second thing is
like you're making them up as you go, yo.
Come on, let him go. Let him go.
The second thing we need to do is we need to focus on things that are essential that we need. We need to get into construction. We need to get into learning electrical work. We need to get into plumbing, and we need to use basic.
Oh, so we got to get back to the manual labor. All right, got you.
That's the
so we got to get along. We got to learn manual labor. Then what's the other three?
I like that. That one is good. The trades are important. The trades are important.
So
building a nation,
I'm not
though?
against science, but we got to start at the bottom first.
For building a nation, though,
to help us find food.
We live in a technological age, and you want to build a nation by focusing on
wait, stop. You gotta stop. Come on for a minute. So we had two. You basically saying like construction, carpentry, the basic stuff right there. Okay, I got
self-sufficiency. Growing crops would be involved in that.
Okay.
We need to focus
science.
on first
agricultural science.
Requires science. I'm not against that.
I like two. I like number two. Number two is strong. That's a strong one.
Go ahead.
But not for building a nation, though.
Number three.
Go ahead. Number three. Go ahead.
Give me 1 second, fellas. It's not in here, beautiful.
He got
I don't see it in here.
I go think.
Give me 1 second, fellas. Okay, so number three, I think is real important. Is we need to detox from the over sexual influence that America has had on us, with a lot of our children making marriages or making families too young. So we need to start encouraging our kids to hold their virginity at a later age in their life, just because of some of the stuff we've been through over the last 500 years. So I think the third thing is important is establishing healthy courtships between our younger brothers and sisters as they're coming up, meaning we should already have an inheritance for the brother. We should have an inheritance for the sister. He shouldn't be trying to marry an Eve if he don't have no house, no car, no money saved up, no resources. So we need to fix the fact that our young men grow up with no resources at 18 and then get thrown out there. We need to give our young men that they can come together within a union where there's substance there, where the pressure to go outside of that is not there. So I think the third most important thing for us is to detox from some of the things that we've experienced from going through certain traumas in slavery, of being raped by other people, or being exposed to the over-sexualized society that we live in. So we need to detox from that, brother. I think that's the third thing, if you ask me.
Effective family planning. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. That's a strong one. That's another strong one.
What's four?
Already doing that, but go ahead.
What's four?
Number four. That's a pretty good question, brother. I'm not really sure. Y'all brothers will have to.
You telling on the other show. You said five.
Hold on. God damn it. Hold on.
Oh, you're not making these up as you go, are you? You're not making these up as you go, are you?
Come up with that
one.
one.
Even if you gotta make it up, let him go.
I gave y'all three. Why don't y'all give me two? Give me the last two then. We just need 5 things.
I want to hear your thoughts. You come up with it.
Just be me, King. It got to be 5 things that we all agree on.
Everybody stop. Let me tell you. All right, let me say it. Hold on, Mr. Moore. Hold on, Mr. Moore. The first thing to do is get rid of contradictory niggas like you. It's the first thing we're going to do.
You're not a real scientist, but you're teaching science on YouTube.
I know. So we good on that first, right? So we good.
Listen.
We good. Hold on. Don't nobody say nothing. Nope. The first one he said, let's get along. I was smiling, having fun on the show. This nigga pop up out of nowhere with vigor talking shit about I ain't this, I ain't that. How I supposed to get along when you attack me, bro? You sound recklessly ignorant. That could not have been your first thing for us to get along. I can't get along with you, bro, because you choose slicker the mouth for no reason. We was cool until you realized you really couldn't do what you want to do and build a damn nation. Hit the fucking moon, my nigga. That's where you need to go with that nonsense you talking right now. I'm not listening to you, and you're officially a clown to me. No matter what you say, you keep saying I'm not this and I'm not that. One thing I'm not saying is something that I'm not. You've never heard me say I was a scientist. You've never heard me say I was a buddy with Fauci. You've never heard me say I was on any of the things you claim, but I've definitely heard you say you're a goddamn Israelite. You're not recognized nowhere. You got a lucky ass goddamn tweet, right? Got everybody panties in a motherfucking bunch. You know what I'm saying? Dude, you're a clown. I'm not listening to you, bro. Deal with your first thing first. Get along with yourself first. Look in the mirror and say, yo, I gotta love myself a little bit better because I'm attacking black men for no reason. I said the Bible, you lost your mind. So if you lose your mind because I said the Bible, to which black people surely did not write the Bible, nigga. We could have a debate over the Torah, nigga, but we cannot argue over the Bible. You tripping. So get your mind right. Fix yourself first should have been your first thing. So I'm gonna give you 5, Mr. Mark. Good, bye. You got, listen, I'm gonna give you 5. One is take time for us to learn ourselves first. That should be the first thing we do. 2, we should have the discipline and word for all, right? To educate ourselves on things that affect our lives. We're in a place called nature and it affects our lives. So the foundation of everything we do should be based in scientific literacy. That's 2. 3, personal accountability. If you do not have personal accountability, you cannot move forward in them because you will always blame everything else. Personal accountability. 4, take advantage of all the things that our ancestors fought and died for. We should absolutely do that. 5, understand where you at and how you got here. And in understanding where you at and how you got here, recognize the power you do got. Your power is understanding that at this particular moment in 2023, you're a goddamn citizen of the damn United States. And that doesn't mean that you love any particular people. What it means is that there's values and things that we can create in our communities that will make us strong, bro. All this, I'm a black Indian, I'm a Hebrew Israelite, I'm an African somewhere in the Congo somewhere, all that shit is trash because you right here, right now, bro. Take advantage of what you can take care of, yo. Know who you really are. Because if I tell you what, if you travel, bro, this is where the rubber meet the road. Everybody talk trash. When you got that motherfucking passport in your hand, when you read it, nigga, that's what you is. Simple. It's simple. It ain't hard. That's my 5. Anybody else can add to that? But that's my 5.
Yeah.
I'm gonna add number 6 to it.
All 5 of mine is just get money. 1 through 5, get money. That's it.
Get money is good, but we gotta know what to do with the money.
Yeah,
everybody else on the face of the fucking earth have came to power by putting their fucking money with each other. The Asians, the Chinese, the Japanese, the Jews, all the motherfuckers put their money together. We are the only people on the fucking planet.
That's scientific literacy.
Yeah, no doubt. And I first heard it from you. We are the only people on the fucking planet that's so goddamn separated between I'm a fucking Hebrew Israelite, I'm a transgender, I'm this, I'm that, and we putting our money everywhere else but with ourselves. And this is how they come in and fuck us up over and over again. That should be number fucking 1. Financial literacy on how to build our communities within ourselves. Don't nothing else matter until we start doing that. I don't give a fuck what title you put on yourself.
Kent, anybody else?
And I would also add to that, that's a great one. And you know what? I think the first brother, Reginald, he had some really, really great points. Had some really, really good ones. Kent, he actually stole one of mine. And in terms of the financial piece, the financial and the financial education, right? Those are strong, but what I would add is that political education as well, right? That firm understanding and how to engage effectively on the political front is something that we need to do as well, right? I think, you know, a lot of times when we have these conversations, we're going back and forth. Okay, well, should we be involved in the Pan-African struggle? Should we be involved in, you know, politics at our state and local level? All of this, I think a lot of that we haven't really settled yet, right? We have to come together, right, to try to figure out, okay, from a political perspective, right, we have to know our role in our local communities. We have to know our role in our state, right, communities, and our global community as well, right? I think understanding our role across all of those different spectrums is going, from a political perspective, is going to be very important. You got to be able to do that.
I agree. But we still go back.
But we have to have effective education in that regard. We can't rely on people giving us a political education with the wrong agendas, right? That aren't in our best interest. I think that's one of the biggest drawbacks, I think, in terms of the Black community, right? The quote unquote Black community. We have to have a political education that's in our best interest.
Let me ask you a question, brother, if you can hear me.
Yep, I hear you.
How do we as Black people get back to the point where we can trust each other as a people? Because from my observation, we just don't trust each other.
Communication. You know? Communication is the foundation of trust, right? So you have to have open, honest communication first.
You want a real answer?
And I'm not, and everybody should be able to pick and choose what deity, what mode of, you know what I'm saying? That's not even in the thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, that don't even why you got to mention that. I think, you got a right as a human being to pick what you want to pick. I'm just saying, even with picking, you still got to have a foundation that's going to teach you about the natural world, or you can get lost in a place where people actually take advantage of that. You're going to get taken advantage of. Like, yeah, that's why we're getting taken advantage of now, because the actual definition of scientific literacy actually includes a personal decision making, and then it includes your civic duty, and then it includes understanding finances, right? And then scientific understanding. That's the whole thing. Like that. But I get cussed out for that. You know what I'm saying? I can't even crack a joke about a Bible without getting people mad. People they call me monkey man. I don't cuss you out. Of course I'm not in Wikipedia. Tried to get in Wikipedia, but it got taken out. That's cool. Work with it. I never said I knew Fauci. Did like you cracking jokes. And
the crazy thing, brother,
I might be a nobody more, but guess what? You on here arguing with my nobody ass though. If I was a nobody, you shouldn't have came around.
And brothers, the crazy thing is that most of Unc's initiatives that he put forth align with yours, brother Moore.
They do.
Absolutely aligned. But we're like at each other.
So I was just taking shots back at because he takes shots at us all the time. So I was just shooting back, huh?
I think earlier, it was very, very heated, right?
It was hot, bro. I was in the field.
Yeah, I was a little fired up. I was a little fired up.
The problem is you can't control your emotions.
Yeah.
You gotta be able to manage your emotions.
The current events has this emotional level high right now. Right. It's a lot going on in terms of what's happening in the media, all of this. We have to, again, these are the times we have to be very, very careful with managing our emotions. Right. We always talk about it as men, you don't want to get too hot. You don't want to get too cold. Right. Be very, very careful, especially over the next couple of weeks, because there's going to be a lot of things coming out. You're going to be seeing things in the media, things happening in the streets. Be careful with your emotions right now, right? So I think this is the big time where you have to be strategic. You got to be political. Be careful. This absolutely.
I just feel like Black men shouldn't have emotions tied to anything anyway, dealing with society. I raise my boys, when they walk out my door, do not have an emotional attachment to nothing but bringing your ass back home alive. Simple as that. And when we can manage our emotions and deal with conversations without having a hidden emotional attachment, because most of us don't even realize how our emotions are attached to different shit that trigger shit. We don't even take the time out to learn how we live our lives attached to shit and emotionally attached to shit and don't even realize what triggers it. Like when you said the Bible and it triggered more, he probably don't even realize what it triggered with him, but he used that as an attack mode.
You can tell it in the tone of his voice.
Yeah,
you can tell it in the tone of your. And you know what? The people that don't align with you, the people that don't align with you, they will notice that. Don't let that be used against you.
Hey, Brendan, I thought we found the nigga that wrote it.
Man, I'm telling you.
Hey, look, it's the identity jump, yo. I'm telling you, when they when you
he's like, he threw his gun. He threw his gun.
You threw your gun, yo. I ain't never seen you like that, yo. I ain't never seen you.
Right. We all have those triggers that we will throw our gun. Right?
Think about it. I gotta be honest with you. I was like, I'm tired of this. I gotta shoot back now.
Hey, you've been holding them shots for a while. That was a good one, though. That was a good one. You went to Wikipedia. You went to Fauci. That was a good one.
Hey, you've been holding those. You've been holding those for you.
That had been a setup. You had them in the chamber. Get them. Sekou, I got you. Say to Sekou, I got your back. I'm gonna get him with that.
Hey, we Sekou don't agree on everything. We agree on something.
Oh yeah. You guys agree on a lot of things.
You guys agree on got through that moment, yo.
Like whatever they believe in is their identity, right? So just like if somebody attacks science, we might get triggered. You know what I mean? Because we identify with, what we go with that. You know what I'm saying?
Not me. I don't get mad if you say you're taking a vaccine.
Somebody tell you the vaccines goddamn cause fucking autism, you gonna go crazy. You're like, what? You know what I mean?
But Kent,
same shit. Go ahead, man.
I've been around for a minute, and I've been going back and forth. He ain't never got out of square.
Nah, I mean we don't.
When the whole vaccine shit jumped off, one of his homeboys, we got into it, and I ain't been on this panel or said shit since because he won't let me on there because of the vaccine shit. But that's a horse of another color. That's beating a dead horse. But when you put your attachments to something that you've learned, you put your emotions to something that you learned. Now you actually building a dynamite cave. Because there's always going to be somebody that's going to come in and challenge what you learn.
Agree.
So do you explode on them?
No, we got to work better. That's why I had.
Well said.
Let me ask y'all
Daniels.
Gotta have emotional intelligence in order to deal with it.
But let me finish. Real quick. Go ahead, bro. Because this is one of the biggest fucking problems we have in our community. It's too many of us emotionally attached to the shit that we're learning. We're learning it to teach each other. We're not learning it to fight each other. So if it's some shit that I learned from one of y'all, and I pass on to somebody else, and then they get in my ass and say that shit ain't true, I'm supposed to combat them with facts, not my emotions. And that's when we getting so lost that we not combating shit with facts. We combating shit with emotions. And that's what's killing us. And we're teaching our young boys. We're teaching our young boys and girls to do the same shit next generation, because our generation was raised by our mothers, and most of our mothers, they don't deal with facts. They deal with their fucking emotions.
Check this. Neil said it best, yo. He said, yo, if you argue with somebody more than 5 minutes, both of y'all wrong.
That's,
you know what I'm saying? Think about it, yo.
Write that one down. Let's put that one down on our list. Let's put that one down on the
number 7. Number 7.
Number 7. So let me say this though, and a lot of times I would right, because there actually is something we can do, right? And a friend of mine, hit me up real quick. Hey, y'all can buy a town, Mr. Moore. You can actually start petitioning, whether it's Israelites or whatever you want to do it. There are towns for sale in North America, right? Start with a town first.
Detroit,
y'all can make the town work. You know what I'm saying? Then you have another town. Just like you got Chinatown, Little Italy, all over the place. Have black towns all over the place. And you can govern your rules and regulations, do all that, but make sure you be able to keep that water running and be able to dispose of that garbage in there, right? Then you find out if y'all real or not. See, that's a pre-proving ground right there. Have a town, right? Build a town like they selling townships. So why we got, like I say to Sekou, I say to you, why we gotta go get our own army and all that when you can have your own police force and all that? You know what I'm saying? Like That's obtainable. If you came on and say, we need our own town, I'll be like, boy, more he on his game. Right. Because I could definitely see us having a town that we're running. And
I ain't seen no nations for
let me ask you
sale
a question. Let me ask you a question.
They ain't selling nations, y'all.
Let me ask you a question.
What's up?
What do we do as Black people? Because if I did establish a town, obviously we don't all believe the same thing. So, you know, it would be more of us as Black people, not as Israelites. But, you know, I respect the fact that some Black people rock with science. Some of them rock with the Quran. So as Black people, right, how do we still have the motivation to do that when you look at the history of America, of Black Wall Street, Rosewood, and the different towns that we've tried to establish?
Yeah, that's a good point there, right? The thing is, a lot of them things was like ahead of their time. There was some things we needed to really get foundational on. And I think Booker T. Washington and all them and the civil rights movement, I think they put a hell of a dent in it. There are rules and regulations that are now set forth. Like, for instance, right? We talk shit about the police killing us, right? But now, when the police wrongfully kills a Black man or Black woman, you can actually get a civil case. You get paid. There was a time before the Civil Rights Bill and all that where they killed you and hung you up. That was it. Nobody got nothing for that. So we can't say it's the same thing. So I'm letting you know that since time immemorial, right, civilizations, different places, when a man wrongfully loses his life, they get some type of compensation for that. We wasn't getting that. Now we absolutely can get that. Whether it's the MOVE movement, right? They got money for it, right? 1.5 million. Other families got, I think, $250 million, right? There's constant. You can get your money. You say, well, what you talking about? And I'm saying that's the point. We wanted to be able to get treated equally. And equally is just because some Yahoo, watch this, wrongfully kills you, don't mean that's it. Don't mean that's it. Now, can we get compensated? Yes, we can. So we can build towns and they can't just go blow it up no more. Because if they blow it up, they're going to have to pay for it. They can't just do that. Things have changed now, right? I'm saying we can't keep saying, what about Black Wall Street? What about the new Black Wall Street? Is what I want to hear. Because it's there, it's attainable. I just think we don't really want to do it, right? I just think that, right? Think about this, You don't find nobody talking about science and technology in the space age, until I dove into it. So I'm always on the wrong end of it. I'm some kind of white guy, and thankfully I got friends that I met along the way, just willing to step up there with me and take all the bullets and the tomatoes.
Hey, I put it like this. What's stopping people from just moving to Africa? Ain't nobody stopping you.
Wait a minute.
But before we go there, I think that's a different segment, right? But what I will add to the brother when he talks about,
I'm
saying like we ain't.
I don't agree with him.
Don't push us off the ledge yet. Just can't. But in terms of the towns, brother, you asked about Brother, you asked about what can we unite around if you wanted to do a town, all right? I'm thinking about the very fundamental things, right? Just like fundamental things that you and just agreed on. Like, for instance, everybody in that town can fundamentally agree that they need clean water, that they need security, that they need sound living conditions in terms of the building structures and everything in that town. Right. And that everybody in that town needs a way to provide an education for their sound education for their children. You coalesce and you build around those commonalities. Right. And that's how you really build towns, because let's be honest, right? As a human endeavor, you're going to have to collaborate and build around those. Right. And then everything else that becomes extraneous, and that's in my mind, that's what I think.
Let me say this. Let me jump in there and to tail back off what you're saying. The first thing we got to do is we can't come into something believing anything. Everybody must know it. There's a difference between believing and knowing. So you got to come into the same space knowing that we're all on the same accord. We can't believe that we're on the same accord. We got to know without a doubt that we all are on the same accord. Bump just made a statement that I don't agree with. He said that the Black Wall Street stuff was ahead of its time. It wasn't. They did that because they was forced to do it, because that white man was done with them and wasn't letting them eat at that table. So they were forced to create their own table, and that table worked. We don't have to be forced to do it now. And now with us having the choice to not eat at the same table, we killing each other and fuck the table. And that's the problem, the choice. They didn't have a choice, and they were successful with it because if they had a choice, they would have died. They would have perished. But without them having a choice, they created Black Wall Street. They created Black Bottom in Detroit City. They created all of these Black communities because they had no other options. We need to take the options away. Stop letting our young kids think that they're free and they can go and do what the fuck they want to do. They actually can't, because this is what's killing us. This is the problem that we don't want to address. Our ancestors did it because they didn't have another choice. They had to build commerce amongst each other to be successful. And it showed that it worked. We taking the choice and we using it against us, and it's still not fucking working because we're working as individuals and not collective units. We get on a collective unit mindset, the whole fucking world would change within a year. Other than with the alligators in the spaceship. You thought I forgot about that shit, huh?
About the what?
You thought I forgot about that shit.
What?
The alligators in the spaceship. A few months ago, we was in a group and somebody said that alligators was dinosaurs, and you said in a spaceship, and I bust out laughing. Oh. You forgot about that shit? Yeah. So whoever the fuck, I forgot who the fuck said that shit. They keep operating as if one motherfucker said he saw alligators in a spaceship coming onto the planet, and we allow that shit to go in our community. That shit is a wrap because it ain't working.
So yeah, that's a lot of things.
Hold on.
No, go ahead.
Okay, so I got a few things I want to say. I posted in the Discord about a town that went through something last year in Tennessee, Macon Town, in which the auditor attempted to steal their charter. So basically what happened was Ford is going to build a plant near the town. And, you know, some of the Europeans wanted to take it. And they wanted to take the town's charter.
I heard about that. Yep, I heard about that.
So I put it in the
for tax dollars, for tax purposes. Yep.
Yeah. So that the county could get more money than the town. And the NAACP fought them in court and won. Forced them to negotiate a new plan. Now, the key about that is you go back 60 years ago, that just wasn't going to happen. You would have lost your town. So we got some progress going on from some movements that we had in the past. And the town thing is very plausible. And you don't necessarily need to buy a town. There's plenty of Black towns in existence today. One is Belltown in Lower Delaware right now that not for sale, but a lot of people have moved out of there after one of the mill factories left. So you can always go to these other towns that exist that need some fresh investments, some fresh people coming in and help them develop into a stronger town. One, I got a question for Reginald Moore, because some of the things you said,
they're not going to do it. They're not going to do that. Like the people that's talking all the most shit is not going to, like, it's because they're not that serious, man.
Well, listen.
I hear what you said. I get your logic. I'm saying the same thing you're saying. There's towns out there you could buy, but people like Reginald Moore, they're not going to do that.
Well, I tell you, it doesn't even have to necessarily be a town. You can, like in the city of Philadelphia, you know, the way they have their city set up, you can literally take blocks and open. I don't want to give up the details, but in the city of Philadelphia, there's things you can do through the Council of 70 that will help secure your area better than the way it was before. So even if you don't want to do a whole town, there are means by which we can better our neighborhoods and communities if we know what's out there. So there's things like, and I'll give you one of them. In the city of Philadelphia, if you count, I think it's 10 blocks, if you can get 8 businesses registered on those 10 blocks, they send street cleaning to your block. So only thing you got to do is just say, hey, start a business. It don't matter if you're doing it from your home or nothing. And if you can count 10 within that area, now you get funds to help having street cleaning and stuff. I've actually done that in Philadelphia, so I know it works. But to Reginald Moore, this is my question. Have you ever read this book? When you were first speaking, have you ever read this book by Martin Delaney? I'm gonna give you the name of it specifically. And I want to see if you read it. It's called The Conditions, Elevation, Immigration, and Destiny of the Colored People of the United States, an official report from the Niger Valley Exploring Party. Have you read that book?
No, brother.
Okay, so if you read that book, in that book, it's going to detail some of the challenges that we it'll be some of the you'll see some of the challenges that faced the Black community when we talk about leaving out of America and trying to establish a nation somewhere else. So he lists some of the issues involved in that. Those issues haven't changed yet, right? So I'm not saying that the world is landlocked, but unless you already have an established nation, it is very difficult to go into a new nation and just overtake it. So with Israel, the reason why Israel was able to accomplish what it accomplished is because it had the British and American armies supporting it in its inception, right? And then another issue we have is, I know people don't like to hear this, but we American. We think like Americans, we function like Americans, and we become accustomed to American society. So if you ever, I don't know if you traveled outside the country, but if you ever actually travel to other countries, when we talk about infrastructure and things like that, I don't think we quite prepared to deal with that. So if you was to go to a country in the middle of South America, right, where there is no established plumbing, right, where you still got to deal with panthers and stuff like that, animals that'll kill you, poisonous plants, and you attempt to try to establish something there, you will die.
And you know what? That is a great point, right? Because if think about, I don't know how many of you guys ever worked in state and local government, but I think my 5 years of working in state and local government in Georgia was one of the biggest educational sort of opportunities that I've had, right? Because what it did for me, it showed me all the different things that we're talking about now that goes into running a town or a society like that. Like, for instance, what you just talked about, Marcus, right? You have to have a police force. You have to have fire departments. You have to have code departments that basically govern how the building of infrastructure around your towns. Water. Right. You have to have water. Exactly. You have to have clean water, not only just drinking water, but wastewater conditions, power, sanitation. All these different systems have to sort of work in conjunction with each other. Right. And you have to have administrators across all of those different sections working around the clock, right, seemingly together to actually make that happen, right? So these are some of the things that I don't think we really think about. But you have to. But when you're doing something like this, you have to have somebody that is experienced, right, in doing and administering and operating in all these different levels, right? Because this is highly technical work, difficult work, messy work, right? It's not glamorous, but it goes into maintaining the day-to-day things that we see throughout our regular lives.
See, Brendan, the thing is, it's easier to talk about it than it is to actually do it.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
So they love to spew these things out. Oh, we need our own this, our own that. But when it comes to doing it, that's why you don't never really see anybody doing the work and actually see it and happen. Because
it's pointless to talk about it.
It's a lot.
Pointless.
It's way more technical. Yeah, like you said, it's way more technical than what it seems.
Yeah, but you
have to have science.
Hold on some minutes. You actually deny in our arguments, and you'll hear me say, yeah, we walk in contradictions, because in your very stance and your very argument and your ideology actually goes against all the things it's going to take to build a real strong, valuable nation. Right? So you ask me, so in a town that we were on, you can have a mosque, right? Masjid, temple, you can have all that. That's been proven. In Georgia right now, I can go to a Hindu temple if I so choose. I can go to you got Hinduism, there's a Catholic. I can go to any religion I want, right? You can go on 120 in Duluth, right? 120 Duluth, right? And on that one stretch, they got a Korean church, they got like a Hindu temple, Buddhist temple, all of that. It's crazy. So I'm saying you can have that for people, for Black people, man. Like we have all types of varying beliefs and whatever. That's not the issue. The issue is the things that we shouldn't be fighting over, like scientific literacy, is the very thing we fight over. That's crazy to me, bro. We don't have to reestablish high-level medical science. We can build on high-level medical science because that's how it's done. The Nation of Islam will tell you we need our own scientists. They done said that for 70 years, yo. Do you know in 70 years how many people could have went to schools to deal with immunology and virology and epidemiology? You could have been to that. Just a simple lab, yo. One lab. You could have took one of the masjids and converted it to a lab and got all the things like you're supposed to have and all that and have a 3-room lab, bro, with the proper equipment in it and with trained personnel in there. Like that wouldn't have took 70 years. Come on, dude, how many man marches have we had? So what I'm saying is, man, what we really have is cults. We have these new internet cults, right? They all saying what they is, right? One person get the money or a couple individuals get the money and they just talking trash. And I know it because you're a walking contradiction. You can't say, oh, it's white man science. As soon as you say white man science, right? You just contradicted yourself because you said you want to build a nation.
But when have you ever heard me say that, Unc? I've never said that.
Not you, brother.
No,
I don't think we're saying that.
Felt that they say, Get Doug holler.
Get Doug holler.
I'll give you another example. I'll give you another. I want to give you guys another, just a brief example. Again, this is when I was employed doing state and local work, right? The particular city that I was working in, they built a state-of-the-art water treatment plant, right? It took millions of dollars to build this out. And it was like over several years, right? And I noticed, right, it was like right after that water treatment plant was finished, a Chinese delegation came and visited our town. And they wanted to do a tour, right, of all the different facilities, right, that managed our particular town. They wanted to visit the police departments, the fire departments, and all of this, right? It was this huge dog and pony show. We brought them through the Chinese delegation. I would never know that any of them spoke English, right, until they got to that brand new water treatment facility. They never said a thing. They never said a single thing. They got to that water treatment facility, and then all of a sudden, they had so many different questions. How do you guys are doing the chlorine treatment? How are you doing this with the electrolysis? All of this different stuff. You know what? The reason why, right, is because their only interest was that one particular science. They wanted to know that science of that water treatment so they could take that back to their home and leverage it. You know, as silly as or small as it is, right? That very small town in Georgia that had a brand new state-of-the-art water treatment facility was very important to that Chinese delegation.
Yep, I agree. Yeah. Let me ask y'all this. What about establishing power in a city that already exists? Fuck mine a city. Fuck all that other shit. If all of us migrated to, let's say, Philadelphia, we can change the power structure right there because there's enough of us there. Eventually, we will take over the city council, we will take over the education, we will take over all of these other factors to control it for ourselves. No different than, let's say, in Brooklyn, where all those fucking Ashkenazi Jews live at. They control that community over there because the majority of them is over there. They're the majority of that community. So nobody else, you can't even fucking rent an apartment over there, because I tried when I lived in New York. Because they control it over there. So all of us if we all got on the same accord and say, you know what, we about to move to Albany, Georgia. I'm using that as an example because I got family in Albany. We all about to mount up and take all our resources and all of our families and go to Albany, Georgia. It's not going to be an overnight process, but in 5 years, we control education, we control the city council, we control the city's resources and finances. It's easier for us to do that than to try to find a vacant land base somewhere and build on that. It's easier for us to do that. Do it all the goddamn time.
Let me ask you this.
Do it all the time.
Yeah. You right around the corner from my hometown, Albany. I know exactly where you're going. Yeah, absolutely.
Well, I'm at
and they have a great regional college structure down in Albany. They have a great college down there. Yep.
Quick question. What are we actually running from? Like what are we talking about here? What are we running from?
We're not running from anything. We just
seen 5 black people beat the hell out of, right? Innocent black man. Like, you innocent to proven guilty, no matter what. We just seen 5 black people exact injustice in front of our face. And then I question why they keep showing us that, right? Listen, any town, anything you take, it's something deep. It's something deeper. I'm telling you, I just think they did it in Liberia. They went over there and they brought the same nonsense with them, yo. If it's nonsense, you're gonna bring it with you. Like, there has to be a whole reconfiguration of the way we seeing this, man. You running from it. Hey, listen, they used to say, yo, in drug rehab, yo, you know what I'm saying? Yo, you take the same stinking thinking with you. So people always used to try to move and go to another place. When you move and go to another place, you still got the same thing in your head. You're going to find the same bars. You're going to find a way to get the same drugs from the same types of neighborhoods. You can't hide from yourself, yo, because everywhere you go, there you are. There's something we got to fix, bro. And it ain't through our spiritual systems. It ain't through none of that. It's going to be something it's called personal accountability, bro. They've made all kind of excuses on why those cops really wasn't black. Did y'all hear it? Because that's really what this show is about. Now the black cops ain't really black. If they'd have had this type of education, they would have did this, they would have did that. They would have done it. That's crazy to me, right? Take it from a person who was definitely homeless and strung out on several drugs. Was addicted to several drugs at one time. And no matter where I went, I took that with me. I had to dig inside of me, right? And recognize what it was I really wanted to do. Because as long as I play with myself every day, I ain't gonna get high today. I said it for like 5 years straight. It's crazy, bro. We're gonna build. You don't really think you're gonna build nothing. You ain't really. You too busy blaming the boogeyman on your problems. So we clearly understand the role that Europeans have. We clearly understand it at this point. I'm telling you, it's a point where you become responsible for your own liberation. Right? And running and building another place, that ain't gonna do it. Some of us can't even pick the trash up outside of our front door just because we don't own it. My man, look, Ed Reed, he wanted to go, you know what I'm saying? He wanted to be, they picked him to be a coach. I forget the name of the daggone college, right? I'm not trying to bash HBCUs, right? I forget the name of the college. Somebody put it in the chat, right? The man get there, they don't even clean his office, not even clean his trash all in his office, yo. Like, do you know that's Ed Reed, yo? That's Ed Reed. He one of the greatest safeties in the history of NFL football, yo. How you gonna go to his office and it's trash and filthy? How you gonna walk the campus and it's trash and the fences broke down and crackheads and dolphins can walk through the campus? How is all that possible? Dude, it don't take no money to clean your own to clean up the campus. Or the kids, they don't give a fuck. Yeah, they play a role too. But there's got,
They don't give a fuck about Ed Reed. They didn't give a fuck about Ed Reed or themselves.
Right, I'm saying, so the little thing of picking up some trash, rats running around the facility, making all kind of excuses, like that's what I'm trying to say. This is what I'm saying. You can't even clean up. Oh, we don't own it. Even if you don't own it, yo, you can clean up the outside because when you look good, you feel good and you do good. If we have clean communities, yo, you know what I'm saying? You don't want to mess them up. Trust me, bro. Like these are the things we can actually do. We can just start taking weekends and just sweep up the damn streets. You'll get the drug dealers to help you do it, the dope fiends to help you do it. Clean it up. And then you start looking, you start saying, oh, I might not even want to do that. I might not want to get high. I might want to get some help. But if we walking, we stepping on needles, right? We stepping on valves, empty bags. You can't even throw it in the trash. You can get high and throw it in the trash can. You can't even do that. So I'm saying, dog, listen, we way ahead of our skis.
I did that shit.
Yeah, put up lights around the homes in the community, right? Because you know what? Criminality does not like light, right? I'm trying to tell you, right? You already know. It's like, hey, put lights around all the homes in the community, right? That will drive away criminality.
Basically,
all they're gonna do is find a dark corner to sneak around in.
Well, yeah, but get it far away from my home as possible.
Think about this. How many of our young kids walk out their house every day and don't even pick the trash up in their yard? What about the Jordans they got on, or the motherfucking coat they got on, or the whatever the fuck they about to go flex in school or wherever they going? They don't give a fuck about nothing else. So we gonna go right back to what Unc said: accountability, self-accountability. Our kids are a product of how we raised them. If they fucked up, that means
you can't cuss more than me. You cannot cuss more than me, yo. You say about you use a ball of cuss words.
Okay, my bad, but I'm gonna cuss on this one.
You gonna do what?
They are. Just give me a break right now.
No, because I can't give myself a break, yo. We trying
okay,
to. We got family looking at the show. I know you said I probably said a cuss word, but you didn't. You didn't
felon.
Go ahead.
Kids are a felon.
Mm-hmm.
We have failed. And we don't want to hold ourselves accountable for it. You follow me? We don't want to hold ourselves accountable because our kids have failed. I'm not talking about my kids in my house or your kids in your house. I'm talking about in general. This generation that we looking at, I did a post on one of my Instagrams, I got a lot of kickback behind it. Our kids are mercenaries out here, soulless, because we didn't provide the soul for them to come out here and operate as soulful people, because we didn't have it. Because most of our parents was on drugs or in jail or worried about all the wrong shit. Go back to excuse me for cussing again, but accountability, powerful word, is probably the most powerful word that we don't want to deal with. We start holding ourselves accountable collectively. I almost let a cuss word out. Collectively change us. We start doing that, we on the right track.
Hey, yo, they say cool scared to hit that link. He hiding in the chat. But look, so basically what y'all was saying, was before we go to Africa and try to save the continent over there, we need to clean up in our front door. We need to clean up down the street first, put some lights up.
Right, yo,
man, and you know what? That brother Daniels, he making a lot of sense tonight. You making a lot of sense, brother.
Until you ask,
I got to say that.
Wait, say it again, huh?
I say, till I ask you about some vaccines, you lose your mind.
Oh man,
vaccines.
As long as you don't ask him about a public health question, right?
Yeah, don't ask about
no public health. I wanted to respond to something Brother Kent had said.
Oh man,
more from early today on your ass.
Say what happened?
I said I'm returning to Brother Moore on you early on Sonetta.
Oh
man, real quick.
Hey, I wanted to respond to something that Brother Kent had said. If I'm pronouncing your name correctly, brother. Now, he said people like myself who talk about it, but are not doing anything towards it. So as a matter of fact, brother, I decided to pursue an education in construction, openly teach our people the particular martial arts styles that I know concerning self-defense. And I do teach that it's important for us to have a fundamental understanding of the basics of science, math, and English, which is the lingua franca that we speak right now. So I am taking small steps towards being valuable for a situation if it occurs for us to have our own city or town or country. So I do my best to push forward towards that, brother.
And brother, you're doing your job. Brother, you're doing your job, because in our Discord, we put that challenge out there. The more you learn, the more you earn, right? I put that challenge out to anybody, right? It's like, in terms of what we're seeing today in the turmoil and all this stuff with the churned up emotions, use that, channel that, go get your next higher level of education.
Well, bro,
the more you learn, the more you're going to earn.
I was more or less talking about, you know, people saying we need our own towns and cities and nations and all of that shit. Like, y'all not going out there and taking advantage of buying these towns like they was talking about earlier. You know what I'm saying? Like, they out there. Why ain't nobody going out there getting that? Why ain't nobody moving to Africa? Like everybody claim, oh, Africa need help. We need to do this, that, and the third to help the Africans. And that. Why y'all not moving over there in droves? You know what I'm saying? Like, what's stopping y'all?
I think some of us are afraid to take that leap of faith.
Can't push it.
I'm just asking.
I was just saying, to answer the brother's question, from my perspective, I think a lot of us, because I saw the Ghanaian president reach out to brothers and sisters of the diaspora.
Yeah, look, hold on. Before you do that, I got a homeboy that was about his word, yo. He said he was going over there. He went over there. He live over there right now. The conditions ain't all what people think it is. It's messed up over there. But he went over there and he's doing something about something. You know what I'm saying? All I hear people over here doing is talking, though. You know what I mean? Like, y'all over here comfortable talking about what we need to do and what other black people need to do. But I believe I'll take y'all word more serious when y'all over there and y'all doing that, and then y'all say, come on over here and help us do this. That's all I'm saying.
I can't argue with that, man. Actions speak louder than words.
Oh yeah. I keep talking about the Pan-African that's never visited Africa, right? At least go visit the continent. Build some relationships with somebody on the continent. You can't be a Pan-African in isolation, right? Reading a book by Diop or Dr. Ben doesn't make you a Pan-African.
Yeah, they comfortable.
You have to build relationships. There's organizations that practice it.
Yeah,
right?
they over here comfortable with running water and electricity that don't ever go off, and air conditioning and all that. They comfortable talking about, oh, we need to do this and we need to fight the government and all that. Come on, man.
Those austere conditions, a lot of people don't like those austere conditions.
Man.
So I appreciate y'all letting me on the panel. But I'm about to check out. It's about my bedtime right now.
No, I appreciate you, bro. We're getting the show. I appreciate you coming through, man.
No problem. But I want to leave y'all with this quote from Thomas Dickinson. Thomas Dixon, who he wrote a book called The Klansman, which later becomes Birth of a Nation. And this is what he said about the Tuskegee model and Booker T. Washington. Again, I stick to my same story. I don't really change too often. And this is what he said. It was written in the Saturday Evening Post, Philadelphia, August 1905. And it says, Mr. Washington is not training Negroes to take their place in any industry system of the South in which the white man directs or controls him. He is not training his students to be servants and come at the beck and call of any man. He is training them to be masters of men, to be independent to their own, to operate their own industries, to plant their own fields, to buy and sell their own goods in every shape and form, destroy the last vestige of dependence on the white man for anything. Every pupil who passes through Mr. Washington's hand ceases forever to work under a white man. Not only so, but he goes forth trained as an evangelist to preach the doctrine of separation and independence. So with that, I will leave y'all with the steps to which Booker T. Washington taught us. And I see that he is not in disagreement with what the pseudo killers teach. Right? Because the pseudo killers teach scientific literacy. And Booker T. Washington promoted scientific literacy. Not only did he promote scientific literacy, he promoted to take that scientific literacy and help other people to establish their own. And I appreciate y'all allowing me on the show. Thank you.
All right, man. Appreciate you, man.
My brother.
Right. And go visit the continent when you get a chance.
Right.
I'm trying to get over there, and next year I had a guy that I was going over there with, but he ended up getting deported. Long story, but so I gotta start all over. But yeah, I was planning on going.
Strange bedfellows.
Yeah, so I'm trying to get over there.
With a tangle where we weave.
When we practice to the sea, boy, you over there, boy, I'm telling you. All right, Mark.
Be careful, be safe, be careful. All right, peace.
Push it on here, man. Sosa, man, what's going on, Sosa? Where you been hiding, man? Come on out.
What's good, man? I'm creeping in late, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm just hearing what y'all was on, so.
How you doing, man?
Fall through late night too. Everything good. Just finished watching a little games. Good ass game.
Yeah. How you make out? I know you made the right picks.
I ain't even touched that game, man.
The last one.
Yeah.
Kansas City won.
Yeah, they won. Yeah, they won.
Okay.
Dude got high level pressure situation. The guy hit Patrick Holmes out of bounds.
That's crazy.
Through the game.
Crazy way to go out.
Got too hyped.
Yeah. I see y'all on the Pan African head tonight. That's what's up.
Man. Yeah. Sosa, the voice of reason. Finally, you're back.
I've always felt like the Pan Africanist, the concept was flawed. I never really day one. It's a flawed concept.
I think all of them been flawed.
We listen.
Need to be Pan African American.
Right. Right.
Get that right, then you can start thinking about other niggas.
Man, listen.
Man, let that man talk, man. Go ahead, Sosa.
No, it's all good. That's always what I've been on. You know what I mean? Like, how are we gonna talk about what we ain't got here and what we can't do in America? We finna help a whole continent. You know what I'm saying? Like, here's the thing. If you're gonna have a fundamentally sound Pan-African movement, at least divide it up and take a country apiece. Do something like the whole continent. Like 100 people take Kenya, 100 people take, Ghana. Like, come on, bro. Like that's more sound than just a blanket, like, you know what I mean? All Africa. That's too much, bro. You biting off way more than you can chew. Feel me?
Right.
Hey, brother, I wanted to ask you, how do you feel about the Ghanaian president reaching out to Africans of the diaspora and African Americans?
I mean, that was dope, the whole apology and whatnot, but they was talking about giving land and all that stuff, but they did a whole report on that. That wasn't real.
Right.
That was you can look that up, bro. That was they're not giving African Americans land. Like, why would they give African Americans land to come to Ghana? And they got people in Ghana who need land. Why would they take care of people first? But there's a whole article on that talking about like people got that idea wrong, and that's not what was going on.
They actually scamming people over there in Ghana about that, man. But that's a whole nother.
I think Henry Louis Gates did a thing where they I think people went over there, thought they were gonna get land, they tore up their passports and all the whole line. There's a whole article on that, bro. Like, I mean,
I don't want to say they scam my homeboy out some money, but I don't want to put it all out there. But yeah.
Yeah, so they look at us as tourists, though. Y'all forgot that, though, right? They got a whole Pan-African festival.
They love
tourism.
Yeah. They love the romanticism that we give them.
Yep.
That when people go over there, they gonna get you to buy, they gonna get you to spend money, and think you about to get this, that, and the third, and then you wind up you done got. You know what I'm saying? Once you look up and see what's really going on. I gotta be careful with. That's why people gotta be careful with the whole romanticism thing, yo.
You living in one of the most advanced societies. Why would you not? If anything, you gonna stay rooted here, and then maybe push some money back there if possible. You know what I'm saying? But you ain't finna leave. You know what I'm saying? You ain't finna leave Wi-Fi.
Nah,
feel me? And go out into
not your home base.
That ain't make no sense. You finna leave iPhone and go back to Nokia,
bro. Look, you're not about to leave. You're not about to leave being able to push your garbage can to the front of the curb, and the garbage people come and pick it up. Waste management.
You got to really invest in what type of government you're getting into. Like niggas get mad about wearing a mask in America. So what do you think the government, what type of government control you think they got in Ghana? If y'all got an issue with the little stuff the little issue we got over here in terms of government control. You know what I'm saying?
And police.
Oh man,
yeah.
bro.
You have to deal with the police forces there. You know, that's a different dynamic.
I know a brother that was in Africa, right? He talked to me. He was like, he was doing well. He was in where was he at? I think he might have been, Sudan. And he had about 300 something thousand, right? US. But when the coup happened, right? It took down the dollar amount. You know what I'm saying? Every time there's a coup in a regime that because America got a stable US dollar. But in other countries where regimes take over, so he went from $300 to $100,000. Because when the coup happens, you know what I'm saying? It decreases the value. Yeah. That's all the type of stuff you got to
instability.
You gotta deal with.
Civil unrest, instability. Like for instance, like right now, you can travel. Like today, you can travel to Liberia, right? But there is a warning regarding civil unrest, right? Because they've had back-to-back civil wars probably over the last couple of decades. So you have to be very careful, especially in crime as well. So the instability pieces, all this stuff is you have to weigh those odds, right? All these things you have to sort of weigh in your calculations when you're doing these things, when you're making your moves. Again, we coin ourselves as strategists, and we're calculated, but we have to put all of those things on the table when we're making moves.
Hey, has anybody here ever heard of the Moynihan report?
Nope.
No, speak on it.
Educate us.
Put the date on it.
All right, so the Moynihan report was this report that they wrote in 1965 by this guy by the name of Patrick Moynihan.
Who is they? Who is they?
Got me in 1965.
I
think I heard something about
people, places, things. Right? Yeah.
It was titled
who wrote it?
It was a guy called Dr. Patrick Moynihan. He later became a U.S. senator.
Okay.
Now, it concluded that the main problem in the African American community was the absence of a male breadwinner, and it argued for like systemic discrimination and unemployment, and it literally predicted everything that we're going through right now, from the breakdown of the family to the crime to a lot of the employment and social inequalities. You should really check it out. Like everything he said is like spot on, and we're literally like playing out everything that he predicted in that report. And it wasn't just his report, it was a whole commission that the government put towards, because at that time, right after the civil rights, they were trying to figure out why is the Black community in such disparities. So they really wanted to iron it out.
Why would there be a mystery after the Civil War?
Civil rights movement.
Even then, after, think about that. Why would there be a mystery?
No,
after they were civil rights.
Listen. The government was trying to figure out what policies they needed to implement and where did they need to put money to fix the problem.
And where did they put the money?
They never really went through with it because of political pushback.
I wonder what's wrong with this community. We've been systematically repressing them over the last 200-300 years. What's wrong with them? We can't. Who knows, right?
It's 1972. Why they ain't thriving? Come on, man.
What's wrong with these people? What's wrong with these people?
We're not thriving because we don't have, in a lot of our communities, we don't have male breadwinners. We don't have a lot of males around.
Obviously, it's obviously the problem.
Yeah, I was in prison.
Right, so if that's the issue, that's the first thing that we gotta address. And
yeah, but let's keep it 100. The ones that's not in prison is we still oppressing each other.
But just do me a favor. When you get some chance, go read the Moynihan report.
I don't remember the name of it, but I think we went over that once on one
previous show. I don't think
Moynihan was flying with one of them like documents. You know what I'm saying?
I want to write that down. I think that is a good reference, though, brother. Thank you for that.
I don't think we need to read it. I mean, writing it on the wall.
So we do need to read it because a lot of things that they predicted is what we're going through right now. They even predicted mass incarceration because we need more education.
Here's what I'm gonna do.
Hear me out for a second.
If you down 20 at the half.
Oh, listen.
It ain't a far cry to predict. You're gonna lose by 25 and 30.
Wrap it up, man.
I don't like to joke and giggle and
I'm dead serious.
Sorry, bro.
Wait, hold on.
Hear what I'm saying, right? Listen.
Hey, Zab, hold on, bro. You come on here with a lifesaver and a damn Darth Vader thing and get mad at somebody laughing, yo, you gotta knock it off, yo.
I do like that. I do like that avatar, though. That is,
but you gotta knock it off.
It's serious. It's a serious avatar.
We can't laugh.
It's catchy, you know what I'm saying? Wow. But hear what I'm saying, though, right? We know that there is an education disparity in our community. That leads direct.
Yeah, why is there education disparity?
Because of the culture. Because of the culture. A lot of black dudes, they don't want to go to school like that.
So African American schools
hear me out. Because
I want to ask a question.
Listen. No, before you ask me, let me explain. And I'm gonna just use my own personal anecdotal.
That's the worst thing.
When I was going to school, I was always considered smart. And I used to get made fun of because of that. So I actually used to dumb myself down in class because I didn't want to stand out to be seen as the nerd or the one that's into books. And I think a lot of black men who are smart go through that, especially in inner city communities. And that is directly a result of the culture. See, in our culture, we really don't prop up intelligence like that.
I think that's a real thing. That's a real thing.
I don't have an issue with the culture statement, but but what I want to say is that when do inner city schools get the same type of funding as your white schools or your schools in suburbs?
No.
It wouldn't matter the funding is what I'm saying. Because the culture itself. No, let me tell you why it wouldn't matter. Let me tell you why it wouldn't matter, right? If you look at a lot of countries in Africa where, or even if you look at, because I'm Jamaican, right? When you look at a lot of schools in Jamaica, they don't have a lot of shit, man. They don't have a lot of the computers and a lot of things that we take for granted over here. But in some areas, what they do have is the drive to want to learn. See what I'm saying? If you got the drive to want to learn, it really doesn't matter what you got because you would want it. That's a cultural thing. That's a mindset thing. You can't throw money at it. You can't say, "Oh, let's get them better computers, let's get them better books," and that's gonna solve the problem. It has to be a mental mindset.
I agree with that.
Culture.
I agree with that, but you just referenced Jamaica. Jamaica's poverty.
I use as an example. Like I don't like throwing out shit because we tend to digress and zoom in on the example. Let's stick to the broader point of what I'm trying to say. Let's not digress for argument's sake.
I'm trying to address the area you address because you bring up Jamaica.
I don't want to talk about Jamaica. I want to talk about the point that I'm making, which is I disagree that throwing money at the problem will solve it.
I didn't say throwing at the money. I never said throwing money at the problem. I never said throwing money at it would solve it. But what I'm saying is that you cannot
better funding, better computers, better books. I don't think none of that shit going.
You got to let Sosa respond to what you're saying.
When people fight for better funding.
All right.
That's what they vote for, and they fight for better funding. You know what I'm saying? So it has to mean something. If one school has access to laptops and computers and the other one don't, those things are vital.
Let me tell you something, right? I remember I ended up going to the school out here, and they were getting a lot of funding. It was like a brand new school that all of the gifted kids in the inner city were supposed to go. Like we went there, they had all new laptops. Like you know what I'm saying? But in a little bit of time, you know what a lot of the kids in there were doing? They were going on the laptops and doing bullshit with it. In like 3 years, that school, that experiment failed because a lot of they put the school right in the middle of the hood, and a lot of the kids in the school just really wasn't rocking with it.
Let me respond. Let me respond to that real quick.
Let me say one more thing, right? Yeah. I know dudes that will leave the suburbs and come in the hood to hang out with us. And they came from good families. They did it because they thought we were the cool ones. They didn't want to be.
That happens, bro. That happens.
So that's a cultural thing.
Was the cool ones. You could stay outside later. Yo, stop it.
Yeah, that's anecdotal.
It's a cultural thing. It ain't about throwing money or better resources or nothing. As long as the main culture is, like street culture, that's what the kids and that's what a lot of us gravitate towards until we get older and the light bulb goes off in our head and we're like, yo, we was doing a lot of dumb shit.
Yeah, so we gotta make the light bulb go off sooner.
We gotta make the light bulb go off sooner, and we gotta do that by changing up the culture. It's what's the definition of culture?
Let family get a word in. Go ahead, brother.
Dog Vader, yo, you ain't getting nobody. Come on, Dog Vader, come on.
So check it out. We brought up education, right? Different education. Why do you think the other schools? I already know the answer. I want to hear y'all. Why do you think those other schools get more funding than inner city schools?
We want to hear your answer.
Taxes. Those properties in those communities revenue more taxes to fund the schools.
Right.
The first thing we got to understand is how to change our system. In Detroit, I went to a community center and I had a conversation with 300 people. I said, all y'all own property right in this community. The best way to change your property value is to invest into your property. They wasn't trying to hear shit I was trying to say. I said it to them for a reason. You invest in your property, you do your roof, you do your inside of your basement of your house, and then you have the city come out and the insurance company come out and reestablish the value of your house. One thing just happened. The community tax code just changed. So now the school is going to get more funding because the tax bracket of the houses has changed. This is how these white communities figure this shit out. The properties are worth more, the schooling gets more money for taxes. Why we can't figure that shit out?
Yeah. And a neighborhood watch, a simple neighborhood watch can do it. Establishing a simple neighborhood watch can change that dynamic as well.
Right, there you're right.
These are you know why? You know how I know that? It's because I've had conversations. No, because you know how I know that? Because I've had conversations with city councilmen in like small little areas, right? Say, no, you have to do this. Right?
I don't even think it's
hold on, Zab.
If you want to affect change in your area, here are the first fundamental steps that we need to do. We need to take those first fundamental steps, exercise the power that we do have. Right? These are the things that I think we've been talking about through this show.
I hear what you're saying, but I don't even think it's a political solution because politics is just the end result of culture anyway, right? So you can't throw money at the situation. It has to be a mindset. It has to be a mindset that permeates the entire community. It has to be a cultural shift. If people don't have the drive to do it, then you having bureaucratical solutions is not going to do anything. They're just going to figure out new ways to exhibit that same culture.
I understand what you're saying about culture, but some of the problem with culture is poverty, bro. You think different when your money ain't right. When your money funny, you think different, bro. You eat different.
That's right. We represent a poor culture. How do you expect us to move forward?
Well, it's not. It's
hard to talk.
Let me tell you why it's not money, right? If your culture is a certain.
What did he say though? Hold on. What did he say, Jab? What'd you say, Willie? You said what?
We're representing a poor culture. All the stuff that we're talking about, we still poor. So we can't.
You poor. You make less than 20,000 a year.
Hell no. Listen, I'm talking about us. Hold
on. You know what I'm tired of hearing? I'm tired of hearing everybody saying we poor, but every time I'm around a group of brothers and sisters, they all making over the poverty line. It's got to be something going on,
right?
Like I ain't understanding
where we come from.
Not only that, right?
We come from meager beginnings, right?
Yeah, I ain't come. That's crazy.
Here's the thing, though, and we've seen this in a lot of the news stories. When people get money, if they come from that same culture, they're just going to use that money to do more of that same behavior at a better rate.
I think you made that up.
I don't know.
Yeah, you made
that
up.
I
don't know about that one.
feel like
Hey, Salakia, family, I wanted to
Money
speak
ain't
on
gonna
the
change your
cultural
mindset. It's just gonna
aspect.
bring out who you really are even
I
more.
mean,
It's gonna give
everybody.
you more
It's like you
tools to
making.
do what you
Dad,
want
hold
to
on,
do.
slow down, family. You making everybody in the hood just the dumbest niggas, bro.
I never said all of that.
I'm saying, but that's you're generalizing. Like if folks have money, you can start talking to them about investment.
Yes.
And things like that. But if they don't got the money, they're
Nah,
not.
well, I'm not gonna talk to them about money. I'm gonna talk to them about morality. Fuck the money. The money is just a means for exchange. I would more preach morality to them because that's the issue. If you are an immoral or unethical person, then you with money, you're gonna do a lot of unethical and immoral shit.
When eggs is $8, man. Like,
you devious poor people.
I need $8 for these eggs, man. What are you talking
Family,
about?
I wanted to speak on what the brother said about culture in our community in general, because I mean, I could tell you growing up in South Central Los Angeles, I was born on 80th and Figueroa. So when my dad bought like a microscope for us or a telescope, or he talked to us about science, right? I noticed not just myself, but other brothers and sisters were ostracized really bad if you wasn't into the gangbanging, rap culture, sagging, wearing Jordans and stuff like that, right? So some of the most brilliant people from our group of our race, if you will, we ran a lot of them off with making them feel bad for wanting to be smart. And I could speak on
why do you think that is?
Why you cutting that man off, man? Damn. Because I'm about to say something about y'all in a minute. I'm thinking y'all was kind of weak growing up. Y'all was weak as water. Weak as water.
You're right. A lot of us were weak because there was no men around. All the men was locked up on drugs. Where were the leaders?
Hold on, Zab. Mr. Moore. Hold on, Zab, Mr. Moore. My name is Bobby Goddamn West. Simple as that, right? I went to a high school that had people that came from the projects. They bust them all the way up. They had to catch the bus all the way up to our school, right? I went to Falstaff, right? The same shit y'all saying about people trying to damn you. Yo, I used to, matter of fact, we definitely some of the first dudes to wear Timberlands. So you can imagine the ridicule. And I'm talking about the Timberlands, bro. You don't even know what I'm talking about. With the thick soles on them, you know what I'm saying? With the tree on the side, yo. When you take them out the box, yo, it be having the white, crispy, just the white frost on the front of the leather, yo, the real Timbs, yo. You know what I'm saying? Like we bought that to y'all, the Timbs. And we was wearing that in the hood. And guess what we used to say? Nigga, I wish you would. And we doing our work, right? And we getting good grades and get slick about it. You bet not. Yeah, yo, simple as that, yo. So all that jokey, you doing your work. We was like, yo, y'all dummies. We doing our work, got all the women and all that. So you can definitely turn it around. You just got to stick your chest out and be thorough at anything you're going to do. So I ain't trying to hear that, oh, I ain't going, man. I be like, nigga, I'm watching the telescope. How come you don't know what this is?
But the truth
it's the peer pressure. Again, you can turn peer pressure on his head.
You come from a generation where you still had fathers around that instilled that masculinity. My generation, a lot of the OGs is
Zab,
drugs,
you defeat yourself, Zab.
A lot of dudes a lot of young dudes had to raise themselves.
Hey, Zab, you know, y'all told me for 2 years straight for 15 years straight that we ain't get the right education until I whip this book out on y'all. This book is clearly talking about that there was a portion of the Egyptians that was Negroes and built towns and all that. This is in 1967 in Baltimore City schools. Look, I did it. I'm telling y'all, we go back and look at the show. Look, Baltimore school number 1, dog. So it seems like, yo, we have this false thing out here that ain't even true. You know, like so they don't teach us, but guess where they hiding that, yo? In the secret vault called the library or your local school system.
Mr. West, let me ask you a question. Do we put going pro in the NBA and the NFL above science, engineering, technology, and math as a race culturally? Do we put science, engineering, and math first, or do we put playing sports and looking fly first?
All I'm saying is it's a real thing.
Yeah, he asked me a question.
That wasn't addressed to Zab.
Let me just hold on. Let me say this. For the most part,
what Reginald said.
Let me ask the question, bro. You asked the question.
That's a fact. That goes on in every
question.
in America.
If you ask the question, allow for a response.
I can't even answer the question. I'm saying as fathers and uncles, right? We definitely got to be careful with that. I got to trim, like my daughter, she ain't trying to hear that sports shit. She plays, she's good at what she do, but she don't let me push it too hard. She takes accountability for herself. She's just in the 11th grade, yo, and she's always taking accountability, right? You got to teach your kids, I'm saying, to take accountability early in life. I can't recall the last time I woke my kids up. Some people say we was just right brutal. And when you were 6 years old going to the first grade, when you hear that motherfucking alarm go off, you need to be getting up and getting dressed. Not waking you up.
You want to know what else is the big thing, Aunt?
Yo, come on, Zab. Come on, Zab. There can be no excuse why you don't succeed in North America.
But you want to know why it's a big thing that goes on in our community too? A lot of smart dudes.
No, but I ain't get to finish talking about the sports because the brother was right. We put too much emphasis on things that most of us aren't going to do. Too many dads is trying to live hoop dreams through their kids. So you absolutely right. But guess whose fault it is? It's our fault. That's why I got to keep checking myself and know that my son probably, I'm saying, ain't gonna be this, ain't gonna be that. But he stands a better chance, I'm saying, of being an engineer. My daughter stands a better chance of being a surgeon, right? She's on her own program. She don't listen to nothing I gotta say. She's just stuck right there. Like, I see the tunnel vision. My other daughter played basketball, had scholarships to go. She decided to do ocean scientist, right? You know what I'm saying? My son, he's going to be an engineer, whatever. He liked basketball a whole lot, right? He got a little hoop dream in him. He's a top-notch lacrosse player and all that. But at the end of the day, I know, that they need to get a fine education. And not to mention, there's things that you can get a lot of money at that you don't necessarily have to be college educated. We got to keep up with the framework of things that's going on too. But no matter how we get around it, you have to be educated as something that you want to prosper in. So yeah, you're right though, bro. Like, we do have this crazy ass thing. We do it through our own kids. I want you, come on, you're right. I'm gonna give you that. But
that's the dream.
To play basketball, but he doesn't ask his son to get in construction. He doesn't ask him to get into engineering. He doesn't talk to him about science. He doesn't talk to him about math. We don't talk, and we don't culturally accept those things as being cool as a race. So I gotta keep it real.
It's the dream. It's the dream of a lot of. Let me ask you. Hold on. Let me make a statement, bro. It's the dream of a lot of African American men to be in the NBA, because of the NBA, talking about football, those are predominantly, those sports are predominantly dominated by African Americans. So that shit ain't crazy. But for the most part, those dreams pretty much either materialize after high school, bro. Once you hit, you ain't got that big college recruit, you ain't get to that big program. You kind of really get into reality. And most people, when they go to college, bro, they're trying to own a business, bro. They're trying to get into the nursing field. They're doing other things like that, though. So don't just paint the community as if we all trying to be basketball players, because that shit's short-lived, bro.
No, I don't believe that.
And not only that, let me say. Let me jump in again.
We don't put science, engineering, and technology at the forefront of our community, brother.
That's because science and technology ain't at the forefront of your damn schools, because you don't got the funding to have that type of program, bro.
That's not true. That's not what it is.
Why would that be at the forefront?
It ain't that. It's not cool in our community.
Science ain't. Let me tell y'all something, bro.
Listen, let me tell you something.
Science ain't cool in no community, bro. It's a small, like,
all right, I hear you.
You talk about science. It's a small percentage of people that are scientifically literate, bro. Y'all live in that's a crazy ass dream. And then you asking the people on the bottom to be more invested in science with less money. That still ain't make no sense.
Victim mindset.
Well, I'm not just saying science.
You got to break out of that.
Things that are productive for us.
Yeah, you say you got a victim mindset, Jab. You've been complaining the whole time, talking about somebody else got the victim.
I'm identifying the problem. I'm not complaining. I'm saying what it is. That's not. I'm not victimizing anybody. I'm specifically identifying
ran you off your
what the hell is going on.
Hey Zab, you gave us every reason why you got ran off of studying, yo. You tripping.
Right. You bullshitting. You're not even holding yourself accountable for letting peer pressure.
He stopped going to school because niggas was making jokes about him. So
you can laugh about it, but
I quit being smart because they was teasing me.
Often in our community, you can laugh at it all you want, but that ain't gonna solve the problem. So I thought we here trying to solve the problem.
And they decided
how we gonna switch this
outside their race because of the hard time brothers and sisters.
I couldn't wear a belt, yo, because everybody passed me saying you only cracked the joke.
And you know what? Here's another problem. Here's another problem across our nation, right? And across the U.S., our educational systems aren't the same everywhere, right? So the education that you get in Georgia may not necessarily be the same education that you get in Baltimore. Is it the same education you get in Philadelphia? You know, so that's sort of a misnomer as well.
You sound like a politician, man. You sound like that would be your campaign slogan. Like you would go in there and
my God,
put the money in the
No, but it's the truth. But that is the truth. That's the truth.
You sound like a politician.
You can look that you can research that. That's crazy.
Yeah, there's no single education system that's around the entire U.S. No, it's very different.
Still got stickers in their book talking about watch out for evolution.
It's different.
Check it out.
Right.
Check it out.
Did you take an brother? I think Gerald brother Price. Did you take anatomy in high school?
I went as high as physics, good brother.
Did you take anatomy as well?
No.
See, again, it's different.
Yo, you tripping?
It's different.
Physics in every high school. What are you talking about? I went as high as physics.
You crazy, yo. Y'all don't believe
right?
What are you talking about, man? We all went as high in physics, man.
What high school you went to?
The hell?
What high school?
Shit.
Did you take calculus? Did you take calculus?
Physics.
Did you take calculus in high school?
Oh no, bro! I graduated high school in 1986, bro. I mean, no.
Yeah, calculus.
He didn't want to be a nerd because the nerds never got the girls. He wanted to be the football player and the basketball player. Those are the ones that had all the girls.
Listen to this though. Those
are the ones that dress fly. Those are the ones.
And the reason why I asked, there are high schools in the U.S. that do teach physics and calculus.
Nah, you know niggas in the hood
and anatomy.
When you in the city schools, when
chemistry and all of that.
When you in the city schools, you get to an AP program. You got to get into a bus and be bused someplace else that has those facilities, because this shit ain't in your.
Because they don't want that in our schools. Because when they do that, the kids are.
You can't say when they do that if they ain't never done it.
It's nerdy. It's geeky.
You making shit up.
Force kids to want to do these things.
You making it up. Give me the examples of when they did that. All the times when they did that, and niggas fucked it up.
That is living in a space where he got disappointed in his trial errors in school.
Yeah.
So let's keep it 100. Hey, let's keep it 100. Our kids are being misled by us. They're being misled by us. We not stepping to the plate and telling our kids, hey, 75% of these kids that's playing football don't make it in the NFL. Why the fuck you trying to play football? We not stepping up and telling our kids this shit. We need to step up and say, hey, these are the facts. My son came to me and said he wanted to rap like Lil Wayne. I damn near punched him in his mouth. We not doing. We not doing.
Did you at least hear him rap first? Like he might be talented.
No, I don't. Listen,
yeah, he punched him in the mouth.
Yeah, he didn't even like. You didn't hear a ball. At least let him drop 16. He might be nice.
Because one thing I'm not going to
do. Yeah, but being nice, you need other shit too. You could be the nicest rapper. That don't mean that you're gonna be the next Lil Wayne.
Fuck rapping, because when you look at the stats, and these are facts. It's damn near 750,000 to 1 that's halfway successful. There was no way I was gonna let my son get involved in something that he got a better chance of getting hit by a meteorite than being successful.
What about A&R?
Hold on, let me finish. Let me finish. My point is this. We not stepping up as the parents to guide our kids with facts and say, hey, you don't need to be a part of this. Go over here and do this. This is way more, you got a way more higher success rate at doing this is fucking around with this. Excuse my language.
But they can do both, bro. Like we're
smart
enough to do both, right?
You see how we run right back into what we can.
What I'm saying is that we're smart enough to do both, bro.
Let me give you an example. I used to work for this motorcycle company because I raise motorcycles.
You finna give me an anecdotal.
No, I'm not. I'm about to give you some real shit.
Yeah, I know you finna.
I raise motorcycles. I raise motorcycles in Detroit. And a Jewish company, young Jewish guy was trying to develop a motorcycle that was impossible to be successful with. He hired me to do his data research on the bike. That means I had to ride the bike, do all this shit. His dad stepped in, which is he's a multi-millionaire over here in Detroit. He told his son, stop this stuff. You ain't gonna be successful with this. You need to go back to University of Michigan and work on and get into the calisthenic product of making carbon fiber limbs for the handicapped.
Jesus.
He shut that stuff down in 1 month and went back to school, and now he's a multi-millionaire.
I'm saying you just gave example of the son of a multi-billionaire who has the option and the finances to go into, like, bro, like that's not fair, bro.
No, you missed the whole point.
I get what you're saying, bro, but I'm showing you the flaws in the example that you gave.
You pulling the straws of the wrong cup. Listen to what I'm saying. His daddy, as a parent, stepped in and said, son, this is not going to work. Stop it. We moving on. And us as parents with our kids, we need to step up and say, hey, you know what? Stop this. This is not going to work. Let's move on. Get into something that you got a better chance of a survival or successful rate at. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I'm saying, like, I feel like I just feel like y'all selling Black people short, bro. Like a lot of parents do that, bro. A lot of parents direct their kids in the right way to live, in the right way to achieve. But you also, especially when you talk about the older generations, you talk about less educated African Americans. Now this generation, more educated, can push kids into these other areas of science and whatnot, because now we're more knowledgeable on that shit, bro. My grandma could barely read. I had to read for my grandma. You understand? So it's different for us, and I agree with you. We should do that, and I think that if you look at how the what's going on now, and you look at the average African American, like, yo, you got to be computer literate. I'm saying most African Americans are fooled with that iPhone. You understand? Because you have to be computer literate. It's a different dynamic than the 80s. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, hell, college is less relevant now than it was 20 years ago. You know what I'm saying? You can become an entrepreneur way more easier now than you did 10, 20 years ago with the right mindset.
I agree.
So yeah, I think that's being done. I feel like a lot of times we use our worst examples as the scenario for African Americans.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so I give you something to challenge on. Is when the weather. I don't know where you live in, but I live in Detroit, and it's gonna be warm in a few months. Go to your local football field and watch the young kids play football, and you give me a ratio of how many of them gonna make it in the NFL. I guarantee you, none of them that you watch play on that field is going to make it into the NFL.
They might not, but let me tell you this though, like, you know, when it comes to you know, basketball and football, sports like that, it's not just, you know, it's about socializing, right? It's about learning how to work as a team, bro. It's a camaraderie that comes with playing sports that goes beyond. So we're just looking at them becoming NFL. So a lot of them, like I said, a lot of times that dream becomes more sharpened when you get to the next level, when you go from high school to college, because a lot of guys, they realize, okay, I ain't gonna make it to the NFL. So I ain't even get a scholarship to go to college. You understand me? So that dream becomes more realistic when they hit the college level, bro. When they go to college, they in other avenues. You feel me? They ain't still pursuing the NFL dream when they ain't even get a scholarship. You understand me? But you can't knock an African American for having that desire to be in a field that's dominated by African Americans. You know what I'm saying? If white people dominated the NBA, you would see tons of white people dreaming about being in the NBA. But because that's not even, only a small percentage of white people are in the NBA, that shit ain't even on their scope, bro. That's not even on their agenda. You see what I'm saying? So I get what you're saying, but you at the same time you can't knock it, bro. You know what I'm saying?
I never knocked it. Now, one time, I'm just saying, us as parents, we need to step up and guide our kids and say, hey, I get you love playing football, but football is not the way through it. You need to look at becoming a doctor. Why we don't advocate our kids being doctors? Why we don't advocate our kids being dentists? Why we don't advocate the things that should be way more important?
I think we do. All the black parents say, listen, I understand you got the sports, but you also need this education as something to fall back on, bro. So make sure you educated. You know what I'm saying? Make sure you got, make sure your grades are up to par. So the NFL thing don't go through. You still got the tools and tools necessary to move forward, bro.
I think it should be in reverse. I think the football should be something to fall back on, and becoming a doctor, becoming a heart surgeon should be the primary concern.
Yeah, but okay, but when you start talking about being a heart surgeon, becoming a doctor, you understand, man, there's a lot of finance that go. There's a lot. I agree, but there's a lot of finance that go in there. And a lot of times you talk about poor African Americans in the hood who thinking like, man, I want to just be able to get a house for my mama. You know what I'm saying? I want to be able to get a scholarship and pay for college. You understand? So you know, it's a lot deeper. It's a lot deeper than that. You know what I'm saying? But that's only a small percent. Look at, I mean,
but you know the craziest thing, Sosa, you can do that by becoming a dentist.
But Brandon, when you go to high school, right? There's 1,500 people in high school. There's only like 100 people on the football team.
Right. That's not the overwhelming
majority. Come on, man.
Exactly.
So what about the other 1,400 people that ain't even on the football team?
You can buy a home. You can do all this for your mom and all that just by becoming a dentist.
Quick point. Y'all gonna close out the show, or y'all want to close out the show now?
I know Brother Price had his hands up. I didn't know if he wanted to say something, and then maybe we can close it out.
He probably want to choke one of us right now.
I know he is like chomping at the bit right now.
We close it out.
No, I want to get in, man, but y'all go ahead, man. I'm not gonna hold you brothers up.
Go ahead, bro. Go ahead.
No, not at all. Not at all. We would love to hear your insight.
Well,
not me. Don't tell me to death. You had a lot of time, but go ahead, man. Hurry up, man.
Hey, well, here go the quick thought. Number first, for the brother that was talking about, it's a cultural thing, man. Coming up, you know, if we had somebody that was gifted in the math or the sciences and they weren't built for the streets, we made sure that they didn't go to the streets. Number two, secondly, our education system has been on the agenda for years. So, you know, while we sit here and go back and forth, have you ever wondered, you know, when I was in school, when I was in junior high, you learned to do shop, you learned to do metal shop, you learned to do automotive shop. Those things got phased out of the school system. And then number three, we also took civics. You know, now civics is gone completely out, and you got people that don't have a clue about how to vote. And then they don't even teach anything. We need to be advocating for not only the STEM subjects. I told you that, you know, at the highest level we went through when I was in high school was you was doing good to do physics and algebra too. But we need to be advocating for stuff like personal finances. Why can I get out of high school and go work a job and not understand how to fill out my taxes, or I don't have a clue on personal finances? You know, these are the things that we need to be focusing on versus who's going to go to the NFL or NBA. Those things are good, but, you know, some people, they need that extra structure to guide them to the next level of higher education. But I digress from there because I know I'm ready to go to sleep.
That's a great point, because I remember in high school I took home economics as well,
exactly.
Right? That and then metalworking, and plus I took the AP classes. So you know, it's a balance. You have to have a balance in all of that.
But
absolutely.
Listen, these suburb schools got those courses still in them. It's the city schools, they took them out. The suburb schools still have auto mechanics. They still have those courses in there. These white kids are graduating. These white schools kids are graduating with these certificates to start their businesses. It's the inner city schools that don't have them now because they dumbed us down. They did this. Uncle can take a few more fish oil pills and stay up a little longer. He can handle that.
No, they got schools like that, bro. You having fun now, yo. They definitely got schools in it. I forget the name what they call the schools where you learn all that stuff.
They're called technical schools.
Yeah, the vocational schools or technical schools.
Man, they got plenty of schools. Well, maybe Baltimore is different than any other city in the United States. I don't know.
It's a little different. Like it's a little different in Atlanta because, like you know, I see actual STEM schools in Atlanta.
Right. I'm saying,
but it depends.
STEM high schools? Oh wow.
Yeah, they call STEM.
Yeah, they call STEM. But it depends on where you are in the funding that you have. You see what I'm saying? But but in Alabama, I assure you, you're not finna see that. Mississippi,
I live in a city in Michigan called West Bloomfield. Their high school looked like University of Michigan. They got everything in that joker to handle their business for their kids.
It's called the PTA. And if you ain't
get that in there, right? You got to get that in there, right?
Yeah, it's called PTA.
Oh man, I was in high school, brother. I was typing. I was learning how to use a sewing machine. I was learning how to balance a checkbook. Everything that I needed.
Typing class is mandatory. Typing class.
Everything I needed to know in my day-to-day life, man, I was learning that in high school.
High school
I tell you what,
now. You just walk in there and give you a blunt to smoke, yo. I get it.
No, you got kids graduating high school with associate degrees. And I live in a little country area, man.
You know, my daughter actually all my daughters took college classes in high school, bro. My son will take college classes in high school, no matter what he think he doing. My other two sons, they about to graduate. Proud of them. They being twins. They be in the chat, cutting up. Y'all don't even know it. I just ignore it. Cutting up, right? So what I'm saying is, man, listen, man, we have to take personal accountability for our families, right?
Boom.
And for those who have kids that are not taking personal accountability, well, God damn it, it's our job to reach out and help, right? I'm saying we can see things that maybe a lot of other people can't see. Like Sosa said, man, this whole thing about signs, yo, man, that shit is in the other direction in all communities, man. That shit ain't the top level shit. That ain't what everybody's doing. So we ain't that much more different than anybody else, right? The numbers is just low in economics and stuff like that because they owe us our money, man. I'm keep telling you, you're never gonna close that gap, yo. Till they give us our money. We gotta teach each generation to keep fighting and keep chipping at it. Yo, we gonna get that. We definitely gonna get that. We just gotta keep working hard and keep pushing. When I say work hard, I mean focus on that getting that bread. That's got to be something that stays in conversations. That's got to be something that the kids talk about in high school. Everybody got to get that there, yo, so we can see it, man. Look, I appreciate
that down on
bro.
that list of the 5. Put that down. That reparations got to be on that list of the 5.
Yeah, that's got to be first. When you ain't closing that gap, yo, you ain't gonna be able to do it, man. Look, I appreciate everybody coming through. I think it was a powerful show, man. I think we straightened some things out. No one on the panel is trying to bash up on Pan-Africanism. Nobody on the panel is trying to say we don't mess with Africa. That's talking points they use because they know they shit ain't together. So you want to end with something? And Brendan?
I would only say in terms of everything, and I would just reiterate, right? The things of the next coming days that we're going to see again, right? Don't make yourself an emotional wreck of any of this stuff, right? Make sure you're being balanced. Take care of yourself. Take care of your families. You know, that's number one, right? Because again, right, all this stuff that's coming out, these imagery, all these things, man, just that I think that's foremost important for all of us, man. Be careful in terms of what you're consuming. That's what I would say.
So.
Yeah. You know, man, look, man, good show. I appreciate building with the brothers and whatnot. You know what I'm saying? Like, you feel me? It's been a good build, man. Don't take it personal. You feel me? Ideas get challenged. so we can see how strong they are, man. You feel me? That's how we do it, man. So no, peace to everybody.
Peace, man. I know we're gonna see you next week there, Mr.
So,
Sosa.
sir.
Appreciate you.
Yeah,
Getting that phone call, man.
For sure.
Yeah, miss your voice, man. Miss your scholarship, man. Appreciate you, Papa.
Absolutely.
Man. Pseudo killer official, man.
I'm gonna say one more thing.
Mr. Willie, I'm coming to you, Mr. Willie.
The
What is
next
it that
time
you want to say to us
The
that
next
you
time, I'm
think
gonna
you
say
haven't
something to you.
said?
The
What you gonna
next
say?
time you let somebody get on your ass on Sonetta like you did today, I'm gonna catch a plane to wherever you at and wake you up because you had to be half asleep.
Yeah, what happened? I gotta go watch something else. What happened? Huh? Somebody not got on your ass? Somebody was on his head.
What
I gotta
happened?
go
What
watch.
happened?
Let me say this before I get started.
That's why he's
Hey,
sleeping.
Willie.
That's why he's sleeping. He was on his head.
Hey, Willie, you delusional,
Oh,
Willie.
man.
Hey, Willie, you
Hold on, listen.
delusional, Willie. Hey, Willie, listen. Hey, Willie, Willie,
Listen.
Willie,
Hold
slow
on.
down. Slow down, Willie. You know,
Yeah,
Mr.
very good.
Moore, that was the guy.
I know who it was. I was watching. I was in here with you.
Okay,
I
so you
wasn't
know
in the
that was the
chat.
guy, though, right? You know that was
Yeah, I
Willie,
know
right?
who it was.
Oh, we straightened
Yeah,
that out,
Willie.
right?
So I'm saying, you saying I ain't straighten that out?
No, listen to what I'm saying.
No,
Hear me out,
listen,
bro.
I ain't straighten that out.
You handled it, but you didn't handle it the ump that I thought should have
I
handled.
couldn't do it. You guys saw that with the bombs going in the back. Come
He
on,
was being
yo.
Captain Save-A-Ho.
He Captain Save-A-Ho, yo.
Listen.
You I gotta play
Feast
the
the
clip, yo.
Sonetta. Feast the Sonetta.
Listen. I'm listening.
Oh man,
Listen.
you don't make me pull the clip, Willie.
Hold on, yeah. Listen, one of the reasons why I started fucking with you is because I liked how you didn't let nobody fuck with you. You used to straight check their ass immediately.
I did
But
check
today-
him.
No, you did
I
not.
said, fuck, excuse my language. You tripping.
No, you hesitated at first.
I didn't hesitate.
I said, this ain't the motherfucker. This gotta
Oh
be
man, you know I'm gonna get the clip. You make me extend. You know I'm gonna put that. Don't nobody go nowhere. I think he's lying. Let me get
I
it.
said, this motherfucker gotta be in them.
Oh
This can't be
man,
the ump that I follow.
and you know I got you.
Hey, that Willie Daniels said you just shoot him right off the back. Just shoot him in the chest, right off the back.
Man, I'm sitting on my couch and I said, wait, did he just come the fuck off on
Man, come on, man.
Wait a minute, bro. I don't want to talk to you like that. I said, what? Hold the fuck channel am I on?
Hey, we got it. Hold on. Let's see. Let's see. We got the clip. Let's see how I handle myself. We got the clip. Let's go.
I'm playing football, but we ain't gonna walk off our drives for them. Man, if I walk off.
I can't hear that.
Man, we need our own military. We need our own. It don't matter if a brother believes he is real, Kemet, a scientist, and black people, we can't even agree on 5 fundamental things to have our own sovereign nationalism. This
He
is
didn't even know the fucking time.
That's the answer to the problem. We need our own goddamn country, goddammit.
Brother, go ahead. Let it out.
We need our own country. We need our own police force. We need sovereign nationalism so that I'm not too long-winded, okay?
Right. I know we all hurt it, man. We feel it, man. So, brother, take us home.
Look at it.
I know Kush ready to jump out and see
Where my audio at?
If I got started in my and let me say this too, Sonetta. We need to let go of America. We need to stop. We need to.
I'm smiling right now, bro.
He got a Persian rug wrapped around his head.
He said he need our own country, all military. So when we get this military, what country we gonna take? Because we gonna have to take a country for somebody.
Oh
yeah.
Ain't like countries out there just laying around waiting for niggas to just happen.
No, there's nothing vacant, right? It's like you gotta take, if you're gonna take sovereignty, you gotta take it from somebody.
Wait,
right?
after we shoot all the initial bullets out the tanks and the guns, where we gonna get some more from? That we might need that. Let's finish here. Watch this.
Stop acting like a man who's been cheated on a woman 50 times and still want to be with her. We need to let go of America too.
Hey, we need to let go of that Bible. See, I don't want to be a Hebrew Israelite. He can
Check this out. That's a notion. You want to be real scientist, nigga.
See? Sonetta says out of his mouth after that nigga said all that shit, chill. I ain't opened my mouth yet. That's a signal like, come on, don't go off. I just want you to know what's going on.
Well,
that's the signal saying, yo, don't do it, He say don't do it, huh? So watch this. Look.
See what happened, man. Let him go. Let him live, boss.
I know.
He say let him live, huh? Now you know this not my platform, yo. Right? You gotta have a certain level of decorum. Watch this. Watch this. You ain't seen the whole thing. You missed the part. You jumped off too early. Watch this.
I'm upset right now. I'm distracted. Dr. Fauci don't know you, nigga.
Yo, he gave a great joke. Well, what the hell is Blink, man? What am I missing?
The movie Blank Man. Remember the movie Blank
Blank?
Man with one of the what's the Living Color brothers? The Damon Wayans did that Blank Man shit with the little washing machine running around with him. He played you on that shit.
Oh man.
Hey yo,
He did say something about a blank man.
He played you
What is a
like
blank
you was
man?
a fake superhero.
All right, okay. So I'm a fake superhero. All right.
It was a
good.
shot.
It was funny.
I was hot about that shit.
Hold on, watch this. Watch this. Look.
Chill, Bishop. Let him close out.
Man, bro, hey, Mr. Bishop, you just won with the score. Now I gotta say fuck you. See how you feel?
So how I let him get out on me? See, I went straight there. How I let him get out on me?
No, you didn't. You was being soft as fuck right there.
I wasn't, yo.
Listen,
I was the man.
I
Say, let
remember.
him live,
Hold
yo.
on. Hold
I
on.
was
Damn,
chilling.
that's
Hold on.
Listen. All right,
Hold
listen.
on. I remember when brother Reggie said something to you, and you went the fuck off for 25 minutes.
Now I wasn't going. We was at the end of the show. Hold on. Watch it. I sneaks it in though. You missed it though.
I'm good. Don't jump in it right now.
See? I'm saying, come on, Sal.
I was there.
this?
I was there. I was
Okay,
there.
you
with
weren't there. You weren't
I
there.
was
You
there.
gotta say what you said. Watch this.
Not gonna messing up our continued conversation. I'm simply saying is all that we need another country. All this we need to be separatists. All I'm asking for is an example to show us where that is actually working. Right? We have a country. We just gotta take advantage of it. The sister came on with clarity. The young brother right here. Everybody was clear on what it is we need to do. A whole new country, that's another 500 years down the line. You probably need to colonize the goddamn moon somewhere, bro.
See, that's the good joke. I told a nigga to colonize the moon. Nigga, go get a country on the moon. Everything else is taken out. Come on, watch this.
You know what? I figured it out. You was being polite because it was women. Our queens was in there, and you was representing. I get it. I got you.
Hold on.
No, and the runway was getting short for the show, right? The runway was getting very short.
Yeah, he was the last one to come in.
Right. Yeah, so it was.
How you want to get it in, young man? I'm built for this. So watch this. The brother wants his own country, right? But he does not agree with high-level science or high-level medical science. So you will build a country that will be wiped out, decimated by diseases in a couple of months.
Now hold on. I'm gonna come to the end of the show that ain't nobody saying. Watch this. Y'all missed it.
I watched the show.
Yeah, I saw the end. I saw the end. But,
I know you seen it.
But peace to the brother Moore because he was on earlier. You know, we was able to reconcile that. But
we reconcile.
This is just the aftermath.
Fuck that. That shit was on.
Y'all not tripping talk, y'all closing out, man. I'm finna slide out. I'm finna give me a drink, man. Peace, y'all, brother.
Peace, Sosa.
So how long?
For a long time. But listen, I was on the phone talking to my wife, and when I finished talking, I heard the crazy shit again. And that's why I said, no, let me take this.
Listen, he being a fucking doctor, lawyer, scientist, never that shit. Never said I had a degree. I gave people my background, right? So for a dude to come on there disrespectful and say all that shit is fucking bananas. He need to find a goddamn place on the moon somewhere to colonize. And I'm gonna end with that.
All right. Peace, brother. We out, y'all.
Yeah, we out.
I'm going to see Smash. Smash is going live.
We out. We out. We out. We done.
And if you look at the back chat, I was begging you to go live right after that. I was like,
I don't let them niggas. Come on, man. I cannot let people push me around and move me around and. Come on, yo. I'm way a better tactician than that. We got him on the show. We had a great conversation. We worked it out. we clearly slowed the conversation down. So it worked out the way it was supposed to work. I don't gotta run crazy. 55 now, yo. I got my thing, gotta be a little more, you know what I'm saying, yo. I can't just be that. I can't be the 35-year-old no more, yo. That ain't going. Yeah, I'm saying, yo, too much gray right here, yo. That ain't gonna go off too well, yo.
You ain't got no more gray than me. I'm 51. But you just did this a few weeks ago when you checked the hell out, Brother Reggie. Okay.
Where was we at? Where was we at?
In Silent. Sometimes I be in Silent in the chat.
Ah, man, I ain't messing with you. I'm going to bed, man. Whatever. You're right. You got it.
I be
Why
chilling
you
in
ain't
the
jump
chat.
out the window? You trying to pump me up. You should have did.
Oh,
hey, Brendan, he trying to pump me.
Yeah, he's trying to put your bit of battery get back against Reggie. You know, we always in the tank with Reggie banging. So, you know, any little discrepancies that we had with Brother Reggie, those are just like
man, listen,
in-house arguments.
I'm having fun with
we go to war on the outside.
To be honest with you, I don't like all the hoopla and all that because that's a distraction to what the primary.
Stop, and I ain't listen. You sound like more coming here talking about the first thing we gotta do is be peaceful with each other. I was like, what?
I'm only saying that not because there's only two of us in here. If there's been other people in here, I would never said that. I'm only saying it now.
Anyway, look, come out of here, man. Look, hey man, make sure you come back to the show, yo. I ain't even seen you over here before. You been over here before?
Man, I've been over here. Is you for real right now? It's because
I ain't seen you express yourself.
Yeah, maybe not recently on the panel, but yeah, I do real. Hey, man,
it's because I don't have one of them names that you're gonna remember. I use my straight up government slave name, so you ain't gonna remember Willie Daniels often. But if I make up a name, Super Egypt Killer, y'all actually will remember me fucking in.
Yeah,
so right. I be in these goddamn groups and I be in there talking shit. I be keeping it real.
Now we know who you are. Absolutely, right?
I be in the chat.
Absolutely.
A lot of times
okay, so you know I'll be in the chat though. You know that's the last place I'm gonna be in the chat.
Yeah, but it's so hard to get on the panel, and I can't talk around. I can't overtalk 20 people. I ain't doing that.
Right. All right, I ain't gonna let you do it. I got next time you come in here, y'all make sure you get your little.
Absolutely. We gotta get this brother space.
Back. We appreciate you, yo.
Yeah. All right, for sure. Peace, brother.
All right, man. Look, with that, man, y'all know we out, man. Appreciate it. Peace out.
Good night.
Peace.